Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. You already know what it is. We back with another one of them things. We got a lot of things to discuss tonight involving the Milwaukee Bucks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's much breaking news. Shout out to everybody that's rolling in here. I know people is just going crazy ever since this news has broken. Damian Lillard did not end up in his preferred destination. Jimmy Butler seems to be very upset. Nonetheless, the games still have to be played. This is truly unfortunate if you are the Miami Heat, but it's definitely time to pivot. It is what it is at the end of the day. I got major faith in the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that they're going to definitely run all the way to the NBA Finals, barring any catastrophic craziness were to take place, but I don't expect it to be. I expect nothing but green pastures in the horizon. We got to break things down also for the Portland Trail Blazers and what this move means for their young assets that they got via the draft. They definitely paired their newly acquired point guard with some increased size. We got to get into the Deandre Ayton move. It seemed like that was going to happen through hella high water, even though they talked a good game like he was going to be hanging around. But clearly that wasn't going to be the case. It is what it is. Shout out to all y'all. My bad. I had some technical difficulties. But Jimmy Butler has got to be sick right now. The Milwaukee Bucks are definitely poised to win it all. Like I repeat, who's going to beat them? You got a situation now where Giannis basically was carrying absolutely everything. He basically forced this move to happen. This move would have never took place if Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't press the line. He was making a world tour and discussing basically like Milwaukee wasn't all just the best thing in the world. But Jimmy Butler has accused him of collusion. Listen, there's collusion going on all over the NBA. It's not guaranteed that they're going to win it all. You definitely have teams out east, maybe a Boston. We're going to get into what this means for Philadelphia because I think that they're over. There's a lot of teams just went down to the cellars, and Miami could be one of them, and they know it. I don't think they foreseen a move like Milwaukee. Milwaukee did come on late. They came on late, like, what was it, yesterday? They started rolling in the joint. Nobody expected Milwaukee to swoop in. This seemed like it was destined for Miami. I thought that is a situation now where Miami didn't believe that they was going to pull the trigger like this. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. Even though Damian Lillard is going to probably the best scenario, probably a better scenario than even Miami, he still didn't go to his preferred destination. Clearly, he was adamant. I think that's not a good look. If you are the Portland Trailblazers, this is not a good look, period. And I got one man I got to blame for all of this, and it's that bastard Chauncey Billups. I'm here to tell you right now, Chauncey Billups was behind curving Damian Lillard to not go to his preferred destination. They actually took back, to me, a worse package. I don't know why the hell they didn't send him to Toronto, but I'm hearing that OG wasn't on the table. They pulled him off early. They was talking about they was going to give it to him, but clearly that was a deal breaker. And we're going to discuss that later. I guess Masai was trying to swindle something, because if you bring in Dame and you were able to keep an OG and a Siakam and all that other good stuff, now you're talking championships. But if you lose an OG, it's rough. It would have been no guarantee that a championship would have been won with Damian Lillard in Toronto. So I understand what Masai was trying to do. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Damian Lillard, I can't wait till he actually speaks on what he's going to speak on, because he made a statement that we're going to get into. He actually recorded a song. I don't know if y'all know or even follow Damian Lillard's music, but Damian Lillard is a rapper, and Damian Lillard recorded a song called Farewell. He's on his farewell tour now. Clearly, this song was pre-recorded. This was released immediately, after, all of the news had broken. To be honest with you, he's excited to start his new chapter if you go by his tweet, but if you are the Phoenix Suns, they acquired a lot of depth, I wouldn't say a lot, but more depth. Clearly, Ayton wasn't going to fit in with them. I heard that guys were saying all the right things, especially Bradley Beal. I heard his press conference. Bradley Beal was talking very high on Ayton, but I just think it was a situation with KD, Booker. I don't think they was vibing with him. And right now is their team along with Beal, and that's how they moving. And this guy wanted more touches. A guy like Ayton, he was the number one overall pick. This guy ain't no plays getting ran for him. He's actually do dirty work. It wasn't fun. And he didn't deserve that. He needed to, get in position. Shout out to Trent. He already getting lineups down packed and everything. I think that they're gonna be a beast. They're gonna be a problem, man. I don't know who's gonna be able to deal with them because of the dominance of Giannis. Giannis is a dominant force, but we all know the issue with Milwaukee. Milwaukee without Dame probably was going to finish with the best record in the Eastern Conference. It seems like Milwaukee, they just a very good regular season team. Damian Lillard, he plays very hard, and they win a lot of games. Mostly for most of the time in Portland, they was a winning franchise. Actually, towards the tail end, obviously, things didn't go as planned. But for the most part, they was in the postseason, and they had a puncher's chance. They made it to the conference finals. They got annihilated by the juggernauts of the Golden State Warriors. That team was dominant. You're talking about 4 superstars. If you want to throw Green in there. At the time, Green wasn't as washed up as he is right now. Green still had a lot of, he went toe-to-toe with KD, so it shows you already what kind of timing he was on. But, nonetheless, man, we very well could see a Milwaukee Phoenix. We very well could see a Milwaukee Denver. To me personally in the East, I think it's Boston. And I think that it is Milwaukee. Like I said before, I don't see any other teams really swooping in. I don't see how they compete. The East ain't seen nothing like this. The Eastern Conference don't know nothing about Damian Lillard. Nothing. You understand? They about to get completely shaken up. Pat Riley is going to regret that he didn't put the Hall on the table. And now what's going to happen with my man, the guard out there, Hero. They had Hero. He was having a midlife crisis. You understand? And now what happens with him? They're going to have to move him. I think that I don't see it. They already showed them that he's not a part of this. So you got to get rid of him. So I don't know what they're going to do. Jrue Holiday is going to be flying all over the place. I expect a lot of teams to attract them. But I got the Milwaukee Bucks winning it all, in my humble opinion, as the favorite, to win it all. I don't see how a team is going to be able to deal with them. We need to figure out what's up with Chris Middleton. If Chris Middleton is healthy, they're going to run off with this thing. And let me tell y'all something. I'm saying Boston, due to Porzingis being, I know he's 7 foot, but y'all all know the situation with Porzingis. I've been right, just about ever since he left New York. I'm not really a firm believer in Porzingis. I think that he's either going to get injured. There's no telling he's going to be there when it counts. This guy has a series of injuries. He couldn't fit out there with Luka. I think obviously he's going to fit possibly well out there in Boston due to the culture. But when it's time and when they dependent on him, trust me, I think Porzingis, something's going to go wrong. And mark my words. Just mark my words on that one. That's the God honest truth, on the Porzingis situation. So look out for the Milwaukee Bucks to really do something. Damian Lillard going to be shooting from damn near half court. Giannis could just be the big man, at times. Of course, it's still his team, but he don't have to go out there and overexert himself anymore. He could really take a back seat. At times, the pick and roll would be deadly. They like I said, they kept a lot. Just give credit. Now we got to figure out what they're going to do with the coach. Obviously, Terry Stotts, if you're not familiar with what's going on, Terry Stotts, his coach for a very long time out there in Portland, is there. He's the lead assistant. I think that he's going to go crazy offensively. I think that Stotts knows how to use him. They got Giannis, so, I mean, this thing can be a movie. It's going to be very exciting. This is definitely going to be one of the best teams to watch in the NBA. And Portland is headed, me personally, they're going to be back in the lottery. We're going to see how good this kid, Scoot Henderson, truly is. The guy got hurt in the damn preseason, and I ain't got no shame towards Scoot Henderson, but I'm just saying that's not a good look. Who's to say he don't hold up throughout the whole year? He's an undersized guard. I don't know. You got Simons out there. You got some other guys. We're going to figure out how all this shit work out. I got my man Rico in here from New York. Rico, what's good? You see what's going on out here, man? We have breaking news with my man Damian Lillard. Let everybody know your thoughts. It's Flight Sports.
What's up, Flight?
It's good. I can't call
chat, man. It's about damn time. Everybody was waiting for Dame to finally be in that position to see if, a lot of people always had that Dame and Steph conversation. Like, they're very close talent-wise. Maybe some people have said, I think Dame might be better, or at least a better shooter. He got all the help he needs. I don't want to hear no excuses no more, y'all. But it is about fucking time. It's nice to see he's in a good situation. You can't say this is a bad coaching staff. You can't say the team's not deep enough.
Well, we don't know. The guy's a first-year coach. Was it Griffin?
Nah.
I ain't hating on him. I'm just saying. You said that we for sure.
What I will say, and what I mean by that, Flay, is that, if it's a first-year head coach, Giannis had to sign off on that. So it's not like they just cherry-picked anybody out of thin air, you know what I mean? This guy has a little, he has a little cachet, he has a little pep in his step, He got a battery in his back. We just got to see what happens from here. We got to see how Dame really plays with a real superstar. Because that was always the knock on him.
Well, listen, he's going to play very well with Giannis out of the Kumpo. It's going to be interesting to see. He need to relax, too. He's going to be able to preserve himself for the postseason where he's going to be able to take his game to the next level like he always does. He's going to be annihilating teams. Could you imagine a series against New York? Dame and oh man, listen, Dame gonna be killing the Eastern Conference. I'm telling you. Listen, man, listen, Damian Lillard, man.
Are these the early favorites, Flight, of the
Listen,
Eastern Conference?
yo, Damian Lillard, man. I'm telling you, Damian Lillard gonna be a fucking problem for Eastern Conference point guards.
Yo,
I'm just gonna let everybody know right now. I'm just keeping it real. I'm not. I hate to break it to the people, but it's gonna be hard pressed, for somebody to say that he's not the best point guard in the Eastern Conference.
yes,
I'm just.
agree with that.
I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it all the way 100. You understand? Damian Lillard, is in the East, and he about to fuck a lot of things up. I just got to tell you, he gonna fuck a lot of things up. I don't know who's gonna be able to deal with him, man. He got the help now.
Do they still have Jrue Holiday? I
No,
apologize.
they let that Jrue Holiday. Well, listen, Jrue Holiday about to be a free agent. I can see him going to LA, in terms of the Lakers or Miami. It's either Miami or LA.
I always wanted
He's
Dame and not Dame and CJ. I always wanted Dame and Jrue together.
Yo, they
to have
traded
that.
Damian Lillard for Ayton, but go ahead.
Okay. I just always wanted to see Dame in like a defensive backcourt with him. You know what I mean? Somebody at the 2 who could really take that number 1 assignment every night, just so Dame could, have a little leeway. He could take a couple couple plays off. So that's what I'm looking for next. I want to see who they start at shooting guard.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna find out. They lost some people, but they got Portis of the world. They got some help. Obviously, the big key to me, like I said, is Middleton. Because I think if Middleton is 100% healthy, I don't see how they're not going to win it all. Because remember, he was basically the de facto closer. This guy was scared and nervous and shaking in his boots. And I'm talking about Giannis. In the fourth quarter, he didn't want nothing, no parts of the game. And you've seen it in the playoffs. The dude he was a large part of why they lost too. I mean, he was complaining and crying about everything. Me personally, Jrue Holiday, these guys performed. He was the one who flopped. It was time for him to come up good, and he just couldn't do it. So he can blame everybody, but
I agree with that.
This man is making buku millions and can't make a fucking free throw. I mean, I'm just saying, this is a lot of money, and you can't make a free throw. What's going on? Seriously, what's going on? I don't get that.
But they just solved that entire problem. You know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna do a hack at Giannis. He's not that bad. But when it comes to that late game
they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to because the offense
you
gonna
can't stop that exactly.
They're gonna start treating him like Shaq. They got to get the ball out of Damian Lillard's hands, and like I said, Middleton.
If you let those two run a pick and roll for like the last 4 minutes, that's GG. You're not gonna win that. You are not gonna win. So yeah, they need to. They got to figure out something. Damn, Flight. One trade and you see how the whole landscape just changes.
It just changed,
And people were talking about Giannis. Maybe he want to leave the Bucks. Now we already know Giannis's name.
Yeah. Shout out to the chat. Shout out DJ Gemini. Shout out Mike Morgan. Shout out Chief Bartran. Salute to you stopping by. Shout out my man Diamond. Shout out Trent. Of course, shout out Basil. You already know what it is. We got Purple, baby. We got Sky hating already. I mean, goddamn. We're gonna get the training camp. Sky ready. So Sky is like I said. Anything that's going well, he's got to be the adversary. But that's just how it is, man. Salute to New Orleans. Purple, what's good? You see, we got breaking news out here in the NBA. Definitely want to get your thoughts on this situation with Damian Lillard. When you get your mic situated. But like I said, all of this happened in a record amount of time. The reports came out that Damian Lillard will be moved before training camp, and which you knew was going to have to happen. And they did it. They did it. But I'm telling you, Chauncey Billups is going to get exposed. Just remember I told you this. I don't like Chauncey Billups because, how he did Carmelo Anthony. If I want to take people down the trip down memory lane, Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups was teammates. They went to the Western Conference Finals. They went toe-to-toe with Kobe. That was probably arguably his best point guard, he played with, and then you see what goes on, Melo is fighting to get in the NBA, and you have this guy goes on he's on ESPN at the time and just shits all over Carmelo Anthony. And it really hit home because this is Chauncey Billups. You understand who said this. It was all messed up, and their relationship has never been repaired after that. He went on there and said that Melo wanted to score more, if he hit 30.
I remember that.
And they didn't win. He didn't care if they won. It's just some stupid shit. If they won, and he got 30, it is what it is. If they won and he didn't get 30, he's
upset.
Yeah, he was upset. But if they lost and he got 30, he picking guys up. And it just was a bad look, to utter those statements. And when Carmelo was truly fighting, and Carmelo validated that when he got with the Portland Trail Blazers and went ape shit, and then after he should have stayed there, but the reason why he left is because they got Chauncey Billups as the coach. Once Chauncey came into play, I knew everything was going to go to hell. As you can see, CJ gone, Dame gone, Melo gone, and like this guy, go listen to Damian Lillard's new song. You're going to see that it won't be another replacement for him. Scoot Henderson will never be Damian Lillard. I just want to let everybody know that. But we about to find out how good this guy truly is. He's got a lot of pressure on him now because he's got the keys. Hopefully he don't get hurt. Let's see.
Flight, can I ask you a Melo question?
What's that?
All right, because growing up, like Melo was one of my favorite players. I used to watch a ton of Denver games. Might be me being, young and just like a fan at the time. I never picked that shit up from Melo. Like that, he didn't care about winning. Like I never picked that shit up from him.
Yeah, me neither.
He wanted to win,
Carmelo
but
was a different
in,
NBA.
in my opinion, it always looked like Melo was, whether he had 30 or not, it always looked like he definitely tried to get his 30. You know what I mean?
Listen, it was definitely a different NBA at that time. The mid range was money. He was playing, like I said, they was scoring, man. He was playing with Iverson. They was going, back to back. Him and AI, 30 for 30. It just is what it is. I remember those days. Dudes just running up the score.
But Denver head did not want to get him better players.
Yup. Remember that.
We
wait a minute. Denver had a team. Hold on, wait a minute. Denver had a squad.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I'm not. You acting like he ain't have a team.
Well,
he had a better team than Cleveland.
Right now, don't do that.
They had Birdman and all them.
Lou Robinson.
JR.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. They had a team.
No, Birdman was a scrub.
They had Ty Lawson.
He was not a scrub.
Nope. Wait.
Ty Lawson was nice.
No, Birdman was a little bit better than the average.
He was a fan favorite.
JR has been on I want to say perp, but he's been on medication for years, and his no matter where he's at within the season, it's always either middle or low. So don't make it seem like JR been that dude. Please don't make it sound like JR.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. J.R. Smith is one of my favorite players from St. Benedict's Prep. Listen,
he can be your favorite player.
Slow down. Growing up in New York, I'm going to keep it 100. I looked up to J.R. Smith. I remember when he was playing in high school. That's what I'm trying to say. This motherfucker was a phenom. You understand?
He can be your favorite player, but in the NBA flight, that
NBA,
does not.
He won a championship.
In the NBA,
just because he won a championship.
Dude,
Bruh,
you acting like, dude, wait a minute.
No. That and that be the part where we get delusional because what did he average? Hold on. I'm about to ask you a question right now about J.R. Smith. No, I'm about to ask you a question about J.R. Smith right now. Did he average at least 18 points his whole time as a Knick? Yes or no?
Well, I
I'm
don't. I
talking
have to look
about
for
Denver.
those numbers.
Now you don't know. Now you don't know.
I don't know all
Oh,
these numbers. I
oh,
don't know the number off the top of
now
my
you
head.
don't
I
know.
have to look that up.
Did he average at least
Listen, I know that he
He was
averaged.
1.5
averaging
to
like
two
15.
Can I stop?
steals
Can
a
you stop?
game?
Can you stop? Can you stop? Let me tell you. Let
Oh
me tell you what J.R.
man.
Smith did in New York. Because you talking about numbers and all kind of shit.
Yeah,
Before
I'm
I even,
asking about New York
I know.
before Denver.
I'm telling you about New York. In New York, J.R. Smith was the sixth man of the year. Listen, this guy Phil Jackson rolled in the joint, fucked everything up. You understand? Fired my man Woodson, and then he traded him and Shumpert for 2 second-round picks and 2 trade exceptions. The New York Knicks have been you understand that happened until this new regime popped off. But they was fucked. You understand? Through the Fizdale era and beyond. So that's what
But
he
that
is.
doesn't have nothing to do with the player J.R. Smith, Flight.
Yes, it
Don't
did.
deflect on me, dog. Don't deflect on me, dog.
He was Carmelo Anthony's co-star in New York.
He was up and down the whole season, every
Listen,
season.
J.R.
Please
Smith,
don't make it
listen, wait
sound
a
like
minute.
this dude
I'm not going to make it seem
barely
like J.R.
missed
Smith
the
ain't flop. And
All-Star
listen, let me
game
tell you
every
about J.R.
year.
Smith. J.R. Smith would flop in the goddamn playoffs. I remember he went cold when the Knicks was the 2nd seed and we flopped to the Indiana Pacers. That was one of the most heartbreaking shits ever. J.R. Smith just went ice cold. I don't know if people remember this shit. This
But
was
he
his
was
6th man of the year.
he was up
award.
and down. He was up and down throughout the season.
No.
Yes, the one season, the one season that he was the 6th man of the year. Okay, yeah, Black, I'll give you that. But over his stint of being a Knick, he was up and down at best. Then he went to Denver. He was supposed to be the number 2. It was the coaching staff that took the number 2 position from him. He should have been the number 2. Now that I will give you. But the coaching staff took that away from him. Okay, then he became a Cavalier. By the time
Wasn't he in Denver before New York?
Yeah.
He was in Denver. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
But like,
the
is it
coaching
wrong for
staff
me to
took the
say
number
that?
2
And
position
Gemini,
from him.
I want to answer your question. Because he did average, that was his best season when he only averaged 18 points. So you probably looked that up before you came in here.
No, I said did he average that
No, but
his
he did
totality at
He
New
averaged
York?
18 points in New York. Yes, one season. That was his
One
best season
season,
of his
yes.
career.
That's what I wanted you to point out. One season.
But then it was
One
14
season he
in that.
did that. Exactly.
Still shooting over 40% from the field, shooting damn near 40 from 3.
Because he turned more to what?
I mean, he was always like that. Let's not do that. He
Yeah, right.
retired
No,
like top.
he turned more to what? Don't deflect, man. Don't
Well,
deflect.
listen, I don't want to listen
He
to a J.R.
retired
Smith
top
today.
Don't
We could
deflect.
do shit
Keep on
another night.
talking.
That's
No.
not a
He
deflection.
turned
That's
to
a fact.
what? No,
Yeah.
he turned to
He
what?
retired top 15 and 3-pointers. You're
He
not gonna
turned
sit and act like he wasn't a shooter, bro.
he turned
We're not
more
gonna do this
to
today.
a defensive threat.
Yes, when they stop asking him to create his own shot all the fucking time.
Bruh, don't
Because
I
that's
asked
not
what did he
a
turn
deflection.
to? I asked what did he turn to, my brother?
They changed
That's
his
what
role.
I asked you.
To a 3
Okay,
and
so
D.
they changed his work to a 3 and D. When
Yeah,
he turned to a 3
Yeah, when he
when he
got
turned
older.
to a 3 and D, he was at 14, and then it was la da da from there, right? We all can attest to that because we all watched his career, right? So please
What you
don't make it
mean?
sound like he did not make the like he was barely short of making the All-Star game
I never
every year.
said that. I said he was
That's
one
the
of the
way y'all
best
was
6 men
making
in
it.
the NBA.
I mean,
That's what I
J.R.
said.
Smith
He
should
was
have definitely
definitely
made the
by far
All-Star
one of the
team at
best
least
6 men in
once.
the NBA.
Now,
You
hold on,
can't
wait a
even
minute.
argue that.
J.R. should at least made the All-Star team once in his career. At least once.
I don't know.
That
I won't go that
6-man
far.
year,
That's how
I'll
I
give
feel.
you.
That's how I feel.
That
He should at least
6-man year,
made it
I'll
once.
give you. Past that, I don't give it to you.
There's a couple
J-
players who should. Lou Williams, should have made it at least once.
For the 6-man award, yes, I'll give you that. Past that, I don't give it to you.
Okay, that's fine. JR fit perfect with the Milwaukee Bucks, though. I'm gonna keep it real. Especially if he was what if JR was whatever you saying he is. He'd be the perfect complement to this shit going on out there.
Yes, he would be
Yeah, he
because
would.
So
because
DJ, you trying to say
it
you didn't value what JR did like in the earlier part before they cut his role?
just like I said, he should have been the number two in Denver, but he was so much up and down within the year to where they took that from him. Now,
I don't think
even
that's what it was though. Or at least that's not what George Karl said it was. He just
Okay,
wanted
so
Aaron to
listen,
follow
I
for
don't understand.
defensive
You had
reasons.
Allen Iverson, and then you had
Yeah,
Chauncey,
yeah,
and
Aaron to
then
follow. That was the starter, and it was mainly
he
because of defense.
he should have been the number he should have been the number two because at that time he was more athletic, he was more dynamic, and he was on both sides of the court. So as a coach, I would have gave him the number two because I already know what I'm gonna get out of Iverson and what I'm gonna get out of Carmelo. Iverson, for a lot of people who don't want to be transparent, AI was still playing defense at Denver. Carmelo was the only one that was a traffic cone.
Damn, son.
He could score, yes, but he was a traffic cone.
Damn,
Gemini.
son.
Uh, Gemini, I want to get your thoughts on the breaking news that happened today. It was a lot of speculation where Dame was going to be headed. How does Damian Lillard coming to the Milwaukee Bucks shift the balance of power?
It shifts the balance mainly because um the Bucks are looking for a scoring punch. So with them looking for a scoring punch, they got that with Leonard, but Leonard's still gonna be as far as what the Bucks was built on defensively. He's either gonna have to tighten up, or they're not gonna get past the second round because Dame doesn't play that hard now defense. Like he looked for that soft bump off of the screen, not play hard through the screen or play over the screen. He'll play under that screen every time. So that's gonna hurt them. That's the part they're gonna miss about Holiday. It, when you look at scoring punch, yes, they went up, but defensive wise, they went down. Because they didn't just lose Holiday, they also lost Allen, who was the green of every team, or the dude that was this with Memphis, who's now with the Rockets. Oh my God. Um Brooks. He was the Brooks of their team. When they would go against them hard guards, they'll throw them 6 fouls out there. Well, they lost that. So Allen's gone, Holiday's gone. I honestly think it's gonna take them to at least a quarter of the season to get the chemistry together, which is a big part. They should have gotten at least a power forward out of this trade. I really wanted them to get at least a backup center, but
Who you
they
talking about? Milwaukee?
yeah, I'm talking about
Well, they can't get
Milwaukee.
it all.
No, because they're the main ones who gave up the picks.
Yeah, I know they're gonna have to get. They're gonna have people flocking to Milwaukee now. You know they're gonna get some people.
I mean, name and notoriety, yes. I
But
mean,
they wasn't gonna get a haul back. You know with Damian.
no, not a whole. I said a backup center.
Oh yeah, that
I
wasn't
mean,
gonna happen.
I knew the center was gone from Portland because he said if Dame gone,
So you
I'm
thought they was
gone.
gonna get Nurkic too?
No. I said if the center for Portland said if Dame is gone, I'm gone. I even said that yesterday because if with the way everybody was talking about, oh, he's going to Toronto. I knew he wasn't going to Toronto because of Pirtle, and not with a straight up trade. That definitely wouldn't have happened because Nurk wanted out of there. So okay, now they got Aiden. Aiden, if we're really about to see how Chauncey can coach overall, because he just picked up a number one problem with Aiden. even though people don't want to admit to it. Ayton think he's bigger than what he's actually is. So if Chauncey cannot coach him into an all-star year, his first year, I think it's a wash on the trade. I honestly would think it's a wash on the total whole trade, and the Bucks won on the trade.
Of course, the Bucks won. Like what about Scoot Henderson out there in Portland? How's he gonna be? Will he ever fill a role or the shoes of Damian Lillard?
Actually, he's a younger Dame. When Dame was younger, Dame was a two-way player. As Dame grew older, he stopped being a two-way player. I think that's going to be the same thing with Scoop, but the same problem that Big L kind of has with wanting LaMelo to use his floater more or shot selection more. That's going to be the problem with Scoot Henderson, and I could see him being hurt a lot of the season because he kind of plays like Westbrook, but has a better shot, like a real better shot. So I
Yeah,
could see him. I could see him trying to take it up on bigger men or stronger men than him.
Pause.
Uh, so that's gonna be the overall problem. The speed of the game, I think he can adapt that from the G League, and that's what I always attest with him. But when it comes to the actual bringing those W's home, I don't think that's going to be so easy for him as people think. And then you got uh, the power forward position. You just paid him a lot of money, and he's not a power forward. And then I guess somebody is going to say this is positionless basketball, and I'm gonna laugh them out the gym because Grant is not a power forward. So they have deficiencies within their roster before you could even go to the trade of Dame because you knew what you needed. And Grant is more of a small forward than a power forward. Yes, he's lengthy and thin, but he's not built for those stretches. Stretch for at best, but nah. And that's where a bulk of their money went. So that's why I spoke yesterday on the rebuild. If you was gonna do a rebuild like this, you should have did it a year or two ago, at least that 3 years ago. But y'all chose not to, and the GM was actually trying to save his job at this point because he gave out so much money. Now,
Yeah. Nah, good
who
call. Good call. Hold on. Shout out my man Spike in the building too. Shout out Jess in the building. Shout out Trent. Shout out Dex. Shout out, like I said, Diamond. All y'all in the building. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. We got breaking news all in the NBA. Spike, what's good, man? You see what's going on out here?
Hey, shout out to you, Flight TV, the hegemon, the pinnacle of ball talk and hoop talk. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Shout out to the chat. We in here, man. If you're gonna shoot for the stars, at least you'll land on the moon, and that's what happened with Damian Lillard. He shot for Miami, right? And with that system, Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, the Heat culture, them needing to score, it's almost a guarantee that that was going to work out very, very well for them. And Dame forced his hand there, but it didn't quite work out. He landed on the moon still. Now he's going to Milwaukee playing with Giannis. No distractions. One of the top two players in the league, playing with one of the best and most versatile centers in the league and one of the best defenders. And you still got Chris Middleton, who is an elite player when he laces those shoes up tight as he needs to. Dame is in a position to bring home a championship. And not only that, he's under contract for 4 more years. So him and Giannis might be looking at a couple. This is the potential. This is the possibility. Damian Lillard and Giannis, as Stephen A. said, is lethal.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Is that Stephen? Yeah, Stephen A. said a lot of shit today. Oh yeah, I was listening to some of his bullshit that he was running. He was talking about Philadelphia. He told us we need to look out for Jimmy, but not Jimmy, but we need to look out for Joel Embiid. Something gonna go down.
Only if
So,
Embiid
so
lose
it's,
that
it's gonna be some dominoes
15
now.
pounds. Yeah, but Embiid needs to lose 15 pounds to 20 pounds. I don't think his knee gonna support him, and I think he's gonna wind up missing a lot of games.
Listen, we're gonna find out. I don't know about all that, Gemini.
Hey, bruh, as much as I root for him, they when he started gaining weight, when he came in the league, he had knee problems. When he started gaining weight, the doctors was the main ones telling the team and him he needed to lose weight. What he do? He gained more weight. So look at all the games that he has missed. It's mainly been because of knees. So at this point, I think his overall problem is he don't want to lose weight because he's finally able to eat now and pack it all in. And like the more weight you put on your knees, especially with the sport, that's a bad combination, man. That's like missing dark and white together. That's not a good look.
You been drinking tonight?
Nope, I haven't drunk since 2001, pimp.
All right. Nah, man, there's a lot going on though. The NBA is gonna be crazy. Like I said, who's gonna beat the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference? Is there a threat? I mean, who do you see?
Boston, I I would say,
You can't you
mm,
can't say Miami. What
hey,
about New York?
no, uh, I I got New York at 4 because I think the Villanova connection is going to come together defensively.
Yeah,
At, at,
listen,
at,
you got
at,
Hart out there. I mean, them dudes gonna be flying. They ain't
Hey,
gonna be able
Flight,
to do nothing with these dudes though. But
Flight.
they play Giannis tough. They play Giannis tough. It's gonna be crazy. I like what's going on with Brunson. Let's see what RJ do. RJ coming off Canada. The Knicks always, to me, they could always shock somebody.
Flight. I got a
But the
question
only
for
thing
you.
is this: you don't want to see Dame in Madison Square Garden. That's the Knicks gonna lose. That we got the worst home court advantage in the NBA. Especially for a superstar. Dang, it's gonna be a movie.
Flight, I think Spike wanted to say something.
Go ahead, Spike. We got the legendary Uncle Vern in the building.
What's going on, Flight? What's going on, Paddle?
I can't call it.
Exactly.
You see what's going on. You see we got breaking news in the NBA to let everybody know what the hell is going on. Dame is out there in Milwaukee. Deandre Ayton is out there in Portland. Phoenix, they made some moves. They got Yusef Nurkic, Grayson Allen. They got some complimentary pieces over there now. What's your thoughts on this big Damian Lillard trade?
Hey, Flight, you already know what the business is. I love it, boy. I'm telling you. This is going to be one of them days, you have to remember where you was when you heard certain things and stuff like that. When you heard certain things happen and stuff, you can remember right where you was. I'll never forget where I was when I heard this, boy. I was on the line with somebody, man, and they broke the news to me. Boy, and I went back, boy, and I jumped around and I screamed. I went to check to see if it was true. It was true. I said, boy, I wonder what Flight and do he know about this. Boy, I'm telling you, Flight. Man, old Glenn, Flight. Yeah, it's going on out here in Milwaukee, y'all, and it's going to continue to keep going back. And I see a couple of more championships before he leaves. Giannis ain't going to be going nowhere for no minute. Giannis going to be very happy. That's all he wanted, somebody to win with him. He's going to be happy. You know what's going to happen when he get happy, right, Flight?
That's big facts. There's a lot going on. As a Knicks fan, no, the Knicks can shock some people, but this is a lot of firepower. What do you think about Giannis? Oh yeah, I forgot, Uncle Vern. You rock with Milwaukee. That's crazy. That's your team.
Well, I'm out here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Well, we got Uncle Vernon got him a team out there.
Yeah. You know.
That's why you talking about where you was. Yeah, because you in Milwaukee, so you really know what's going on.
Right. When they was winning the championship, I was right here down there, almost down not down the street from them. You know, a couple of blocks, but still though, it ain't take long to get over there especially on my bike. I can get down there in no time. But yeah, it's going to be nice down there. Flight, we're going to have a nice time. God's will and everything go right. Boy, it's going to be wonderful. I'm seeing more championships. Flight, I haven't seen one in the last, 2 years now? Yeah, I can see it.
Who's a threat to them in the East?
I can care less about these. No, the Bulls. I want the Bulls to do something.
Well, now, come on. Now you playing now.
But the Bulls
they need Lonzo Ball if they try to do shit like that.
Yeah. But that's it, though. Bucks, Bulls, you know what I'm saying? That's it. And then Lonzo even goes to Wells, but Bucks and Bulls. And the East is weak. That's why you see Miami come up out of there. Thank you, Jimmy Butler. Boy, you got his face on there. He was upset. Boy, he got a headache. He was hoping, he was praying that Dame Dollar come out there. And then he turned around and said it was rigged. So a loser.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know why, man. I think that the Portland, they still screwed Damian Lillard, even though they took care of him, sent him to a championship team. That's not where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I think they could have got a better trade package elsewhere. You know, but it is what it is.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Purple.
Oh, finally. My mic was messing up. I was echoing. But what's going on?
You see what's going on? We got breaking news all in the NBA. Big time blockbuster trade. Jimmy Butler is sick to his stomach. You got Dame Time headed out to Milwaukee. You got to fear the deer. I got Milwaukee winning it all. And then we got to get. What's your thoughts on the Dame situation? That we're gonna get into what's happening in Portland, what's going on out there in Phoenix. There's a lot of things to talk about. New York City just walked in the building too.
Who is it? Who just came in?
Hey, what's good, Flight?
My man Quiz, what's good? Shout out Queens.
I'm chilling, man.
Queens get the money. Yeah, we got breaking news, man. Shout out my brother Quiz in the building, man.
I saw that 3-team trade. That was interesting.
Listen, the balance is shifted, man. What's going on?
I disagree with you on how Dame feels. I think that Dame has got a better situation in Miami, way better. And I don't mean that way better. I mean the Bucks had the #1 record in the East last year, and I mean I don't see them have gotten worse. Even though I know that the defense that Jrue Holiday is going to hurt him, but losing Grayson Allen ain't going to hurt. Along with that, and I mean Dame Lillard brings way more 3-point shooting potential. So the Bucks right now, remember that you have Giannis working with Hakeem the Dream right now. So the Bucks have scoring in all 3 levels of offense right now. You got the threes with Dame, you got the midi with Chris Middleton, and you got Giannis. And the Bucks still have a stout defense. Everybody else on the Bucks plays defense, with the exception of Damian Lillard. So I think they're in good shape. Now all they need to do is get a backup for Damian, somebody who's a little bit probably more defense heavy, and they should be good. And as far as what Portland got out of the deal, I think that Portland didn't do terrible. I mean, Portland got Jrue Holiday. The Portland got
they're not keeping Jrue Holiday.
They already said they're pushing him.
I don't know what they're doing with them. I don't know what they're doing with them, but they got him now, and Jrue Holiday has value. And they also got DeAndre Ayton. So, I mean, like the Trailblazers, are still in turmoil, but they got rid of their franchise players. So it'll take them a while to turn it around. But I think they got some pieces over there. I mean, DeAndre Ayton and Jrue Holiday both have
Jrue Holiday is an asset.
Absolutely. And I mean,
they do got Jrue Holiday, but go ahead. Now that you said that.
And listen, and Jrue Holiday is one of the best defensive guards. I mean, come on. He's going to come highly coveted. So, I mean, I think I don't think it was a terrible deal for the Trailblazers either. I didn't see everything else that they got, but I know they got more than that too.
Well, they got Little. Little is a 6'6" guard.
I thought that Little went to the Suns. That the Trailblazers already had Nazi.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah, little one to the Suns. So he's off of there. I don't know what else the Trailblazers got, but they got two chip players over there with Jrue Holiday and DeAndre Ayton.
Well, the Trailblazers got Ayton. They got a rookie who got no minutes from the international game. So all they got is Holiday, Ayton, and two first round picks. One they're gonna swap, and one is an unprotected.
I mean, that's not bad.
I'm happy for DeAndre Ayton. Hopefully, with Scoot Henderson start, because since the Chris Paul thing, he been complaining about his touches. So I'm happy to see what he gonna do, and how involved he gonna be with the Trailblazers and their offense and stuff like that. But the trade went about what I thought it is. I feel bad for Holiday though, especially what's going on with him personally and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens with him.
Well, Purple Baby, catch me up on what's going on with Jrue Holiday. I heard that he didn't really want to doesn't want to play long term in the NBA anymore anyway.
Yeah, it's personal, with his people and stuff like that.
I mean, what happened? I'm confused.
It's his girl, his woman.
His girl plays soccer,
You didn't
right?
hear about it when he was in New Orleans?
Nah, listen, man. We can keep it real around here, Purple Baby. We ain't got no, you know what I mean? We ain't got no Gestapo's gonna come and pull you off the streets, snatch you off the streets for keeping it real now.
From what's going on, he's her caretaker,
Oh, she's all right. She's in critical condition type situation.
Not critical, but he's the caretaker. And
Yeah, well, I know that you could see the love on Jrue Holiday's face, like, you know what I mean. He's definitely got he's got jungle fever oozing out of his pores. We could see that every time you see him talk about his girl, and that's a serious situation.
Yeah,
and Jrue Holiday's a stand-up dude. I'm not judging him one way or another, but
right.
you know what I mean. Jrue Holiday, I think it was a good situation because Jrue Holiday has. So I guess that situation is the reason why he said what he said. He doesn't plan on doing an extension past this contract he's in, from what I've heard from him.
He told me.
He's talking about an early retirement from the NBA.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't be mad at Milwaukee.
I mean, I'm not mad at Milwaukee. It's just, I think it was hard on him, with the New Orleans. When New Orleans had traded him, because I was surprised to hear about it. He's not a guy that creates trouble or anything, not a locker room issue or anything.
No,
So
he
I
wanted
heard
out when he was
that.
here. No, but he wanted out when he was here. He because we had the same problem that Charlotte has, which is we're not a free agent destination. So it was hard to not be able to get free agents around him and AD, and that was the majority of the problem. We're not a destination, and I will admit that our nightlife is lit, but it's like we're not an actual destination for players.
I'm gonna tell you who should have made the bid for Jrue Holiday, because they need to win now, basically, with what they have, and I think that like the Suns could have used Jrue Holiday. He would have been great over there. But
Yeah, but he's gonna be he's still gonna be on the move because Portland already said that they're not keeping him. So he's definitely they're looking for a team to trade for him right now. But if you look at what the Suns just picked up, they picked up a whole bunch of guards again. So I mean they guard heavy.
yeah,
Like
but they did get. But most important is they got Nurkic, which is what they need because DeAndre Ayton wasn't hanging around there anyway. So
well,
yeah,
yeah, but hold on. The Phoenix already had his backups already there, or even if you want to say replacements already there. Like they had four centers with Aiden,
yeah,
and
none
now
of them
you
ain't good.
Udoka is.
Udoka ain't been good in
No,
Adoka, you talking
no,
about the
they have
coach?
not used him. No, Idoka, the player, they
You
have
talking
not
about
used him
Ibaka,
in.
Serge Ibaka?
No, Idoka.
I don't even
Idoka,
know
the
who that
center
is.
that was with the Jazz. He was supposed to be the starting center until they drafted the complexion. Until they drafted Kessler, he was supposed to be their starting center.
Well, hey, you know what? You got to look at it like we got to see what he can do. Because to be honest with you, that's the big hole in the Suns. But we'll see what it is. I mean, I think that them
I
pick.
I, I
I think
wanted
that
him to
Nurkic.
sign with the Lakers because that,
I'll
that
be honest
that's
with
the
you.
only position we needed.
Well,
We only
listen,
need a five.
Nurkic is a proven commodity. I would, unless they're completely out of their mind or just smoking crack in the front office, I wouldn't be. I would be incredibly surprised at any center start over him. He's got to be the starter center already walking through the door. So whatever else they have unproven commodities, that guy Nurkic can actually play. They got tons of shooters over there. I still think the situation is pretty much the same for the Suns, though. I don't know if that trade really moved the needle for me with that team.
It I don't want to say it moved the needle. It just got rid of it. It helped them more with chemistry because it's a fresher face, and you don't have somebody just asking for the ball. Like to me, Aiton think he's bigger than what he plays, and and the sad thing is I wanted him to succeed there, but I think it was a big disconnect between him and the coaches, like over the years, because I really don't think they use them right.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not really like I wasn't jumping through the roof over Aiton. He's still got a lot to prove to me in this league. I think that some of what you say I agree with. This is Marvin, right?
Nah, this Gemini.
Oh, Gemini. All right. I'm sorry, Gemini. I mean to
Nah, you
disrespect you,
good.
bro. I ain't been on here with you guys in a minute. But yeah, Gemini, I agree with you as far as it's probably a little bit better for them for chemistry because Nurkic isn't complaining about things and Nurkic can play some defense. Nurkic can guard the rim a little bit. He's a big body, but I actually like Nurkic. I just think that he's got the brunt of the stick because the Trailblazers have been pretty terrible, and you know what I mean. And he's not like he's not a top chip center in the NBA, but he's a serviceable center. So I think that's good for the Suns for all practical purposes. But like I said, I don't see it really moving the needle for the Suns,
Well,
personally.
I seen him on the move because of the statement that he said, regardless of the fact of the matter. When it came to Dame, he said, "Well, if Dame gone, I'm gone." When he made that statement, I was like, "Okay, I don't think there's gonna be a one-on-one trade no more." And just what I thought, it turned into a three-team trade.
I'm not mad at him. It's good. He should be popping champagne himself. People are gonna actually get to see him play now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the main thing with him is that he needs to work on that cardio just a tad bit, just a tad bit to be a little faster. And with three offensive players on the floor and him running the floor, that's gonna be dangerous.
I mean, to me, to be honest with you, I don't think that he needs to be that much faster on that team. And they still are what they are. They're still guard heavy. You got KD, who's a little bit, let's be honest, he's a little bit slower. The person who's moving on the two dudes on that team that's really going to
No,
move
he's
though
a
are going to
power
be.
forward now.
Yeah, well,
It-
good for him. But still,
yeah,
in all, I still see the main cog on that team is Devin Booker. I think it's Devin Booker's team. I think that him and Beal, and yeah, I think that Beal, if they stagger him, I mean, there's some things that they could bring to the table, but the Suns, they don't have the defense to stop some of them other teams out there, and to me, it's still shooting paintballs at the blackboard from where I'm at. So we'll
So
see how far they go, but good for them. Kudos for the Suns.
think
At least they'll
what
keep some fans in the seat.
what
mm,
you think like a second round exit or last round?
Well, playoffs purple. are really about matchups, to be quite honest with you, and people don't ever emphasize that enough. They always talk about. I hear them go back and try to revise history. If a team made it to the finals and that team had to go through the process just like anybody else, but there are sometimes teams that you just match up better against that help you out. So we got to see what the matchups look like. And also, depending on who you're playing against, I mean, you could play against a team that may even have a good roster, but might not be healthy. So it's far too early for me to make predictions on how far they're going to go. But I don't see them going to the Western Conference finals at this point. What they have, I just don't think that they're better than. I can just find about 3 teams I think that are probably better than them right now. And also mind you, the Grizzlies went and got Marcus Smart. So remember they lost Dylan Brooks, but they picked up Marcus Smart. So they still have another dude who's a great defender. They lost the defender.
Lost
They
their
picked up
guard
the
too.
defender.
They lost their guard to the
The
Wizards.
backup dude. He was nice too. I liked him. The young dude.
Jones.
Yeah, Tyus Jones. I liked him too. But the thing about the Grizzlies, I don't think there's anybody should cry for them, because the Grizzlies have shown that they're able to play with or without anybody. And mind you, they didn't even I don't think that they fully showed off their team last year, because they got a lot of really good games with Kennard, and they picked him up late, and he's still going to be around there. So they still have some shooting over there. They have some defense. They still have all of the players that really matter, and then they're going to have probably a healthy Steven Adams next year, who was missing this year, and then also one of those other bigs that they had. I forget the Clark. I think his name is Clark. He wasn't playing last year, so he'll be healthy. So I don't think that the Grizzlies are really missing that much with those dudes that they've lost. Because remember, Marcus Smart is also a guard too, a point guard at that. By position.
But I just don't think he's an offensive. I think that's what
he's
they're gonna
not,
be
but
missing.
he's a better defense. He's a great defensive component, and he also has heart, because he's played, like, he brings something to them that they kind of need. Like, you know what I'm saying, Gemini? Like, he actually has some championship pedigree now.
Yeah, I dig it. What you was about to say, Perp?
He brings that to them.
Yeah.
Now, I would say my only concern with Memphis is how small they are. Like, they wings, they ain't really got no long wings, and I think that's gonna hurt them.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think that they have like I said, they have they have Desmond Bane. I do agree that they don't have, super duper size out there, but they have some outside shooting. They've shown that they can definitely shoot. They should have a relatively healthy John Morant. I mean, they last year, as good as the Grizzlies played, that guy Clark was a prime contributor to that team. You can't remember the last time you seen that guy play. Steven Adams didn't play for a majority of the year last year. So, and I'm not sure if people realize, but Kennard, even in the short period of time that they had him, he's dropped 30-point games for them too, and has gone bonkers for them for 3. I know I picked him up on fantasy last year. That dude was having some really, really quality games for them, and he's a dude who helps stretch the floor as well. So I just think that they're kind of like in the same place, Purple. I don't think that they've gone down. I think that they've got better just by the fact of them being a little bit more healthy. And so, yeah, that issue with them being long at the guard, of course, you have a whole season there. You don't know what could happen. But the teams that I think are better than the Suns are just flat out. I think that the Lakers won. I think that the Clippers even potentially, maybe, depending on, but definitely the Nuggets. And
wait. The Memphis got Shaq Henderson.
Oh yeah, tell me about him. I'm not familiar with them.
He was the guy who played for the Lakers G League team. That's a dual threat, defensive and offensive. But the Lakers only played him for 3 minutes. Oh my God, that's who Memphis got. Man.
Well, I mean, Memphis got depth. That's all I'm saying, Gemini. Memphis is not a team like Memphis is going to be there. Memphis' thing is getting over the hump, and they're going to be a lot healthier even with this dude. They got depth over in Memphis, as far as I'm concerned.
Guard play, yes, but small forward, no. I see what purple concern was at small forward. No, but at guard, man, they guard heavy.
They didn't
Yep.
have a small forward last year.
Yes, they did.
Who?
Brooks.
Come on.
Bane played, and Bane's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be able to handle these threes. I'm sorry. I think they setting that man up for failure.
What do you mean, purple baby? Do you look at? Have you looked at the numbers that Baines has put up in the last 2 years?
But that's at the guard spot. Like I don't believe he's heavily had to on the defensive end. You know, had to take and guard some of the threes. Like
I'll be honest with you, and I'm gonna stand alone on this. I think all of that shit is a bit overrated. It's positionless basketball. The small and the two ain't that huge of a difference in the NBA. There's only a handful of really
Mm,
solid threes out there anyway, in my estimation. So I think that them losing Dylan Brooks is about the same size as Desmond Bain.
no,
So he got to play a little
mm.
bit more defense, but
Brooks is like 6'7", isn't he?
Brooks is what, six? I don't think, maybe 6'7". I think that dude's more like a 6'6". Desmond Bain is like 6'5".
I mean,
yeah.
1 inch, but it's not the bedroom pause. But I
Well, all
mean,
I'm saying is six. Listen, let's be
Oh,
real. Six
heavy
five
on.
and six between 6'5" and 6'7". It's a little bit of a difference, but it's not like monumental. Bain
I
isn't
don't
like
think he's gonna
Bain
be
ain't
able
like a
to.
6 foot dude. He's not like 6 feet tall or 6'2".
Yeah, I know that. I know that. But you got to remember, Ja is suspended for the first 25 games. So I'm assuming that Marcus Smart is starting. I know Bain is starting, and Steven Adams is a starter, and James Jones is
Absolutely.
a starter. So Derrick Rose gonna start?
No, I mean, remember we still got a ways to go. The thing, what I'm saying, Purple Baby and Gemini is this: if you've watched the Grizzlies, and I'm sure that people don't tune in, but the Grizzlies dealt with a suspension of John Morant last year. They dealt with injuries with John Morant last year, and the thing about the Grizzlies is they've won no matter who goes down. The Grizzlies have always shown an ability to really win. So even if they struggle the first 25 games, I don't think they'll struggle tremendously. The Grizzlies have a pretty gritty team over there, and they'll have to figure it out. Of course, you know what I mean. It's the NBA, so it's tough anyway. But Ja's coming back. It ain't like he's out for the whole season.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just pointing it out. I just think because like with a team like think of the teams like lower. Sky won't like this, but the teams that's lower that's gonna be in like play-in situations and stuff like this, like New Orleans, possibly the Clippers, Dallas. They might match up evenly with Dallas, maybe. But I just feel like you gonna need some length with New Orleans for sure.
I mean, there's
yes.
still a lot of time. There's still a lot of time. I mean, remember that throughout
Even
the
with the
course of the
Lakers.
season, they have a trade
No,
deadline.
the it with the Lakers, the only thing we're missing is the actual center position. Like we need a actual five, and that's why I wouldn't have let Idoka leave the building at all. So me personally, I would not have let that young man leave the building. I would have did what the Clippers did with Blake. I honestly would have did that because Idoka footwork is there. They had the chance to get Q twice. They whiffed. Now he's in Boston. So I mean I I honestly I don't get this right now.
I mean, I don't think the Lakers are missing anything from a dude who only played 3 minutes, and they
No,
didn't even
no, no,
play.
no, not he's a guard, but they called him up just for the playoffs. But literally, I'm talking about as far as what the Lakers have right now, 1 through 3, we're straight. We're over. Like we have everything that we need. 1 through 3. 4 is even taken care of. The weak spot of the Lakers right now is the 5 position, and that's what I've been hoping on. Now, at this point, is surmise that Pelinka is thinking that Christian Wood is a center. I disagree with a lot of Lakers fans on that because I don't look at this man as a center. But if that is what Rob is looking at him as, that's possible. But me personally, I do not see Christian Woods as a center.
Yeah,
I'm
but you
sorry.
see Mo Bamba as a center, and they haven't even played him even at all. So I mean, they still have him.
No, Mobamba had um what that was 3 good games. Then he twisted his ankle. He twisted his ankle pretty bad.
I
Like
mean, he's gonna be back. It's a whole new season now.
no, he's in Philly.
Oh,
He's
they
out of
got
there.
rid of him? Wow, I didn't
Yep.
even know that. See, I mean, I haven't even. I'm just popping on here over the news for the Bucks. I need to catch up on any other moves that's been made. I didn't even know that they let him go.
Yeah, he's in Philly. They wanted to turn this contract to a prove me contract so they could re-sign everybody and gain some pieces. And I'm sorry, and then gain at least one piece. That was Rob Pelinka's statement. And when he went down, Mo was the only one in the gym at the time working out. He went from upstairs, went downstairs, told this man that they're want to restructure his contract. Next, you know, Mobamba went to the locker room, left, and next you hear that he was with Phoenix.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not. I think the Lakers have the Lakers will figure out what they need to do, and
Yeah.
the Lakers are a team that's
Well,
notorious for making moves
I
by the
want
deadline.
I want to ask you a question about those Lakers. Does this Lillard trade, even though they're out east, does this impact them, or they just deal with them if they ever get there?
No, we can deal with them for two
I,
reasons.
I was asking.
D'Lo.
I was asking Quiz. We're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
go Quiz.
Well, I mean, you're talking about the teams in the East and the West. I think it really only impacts them if they end up running into each other in the finals, which can be a possibility. Because I want you to think about this, Flight, and tell me if I'm wrong. These teams going to play each other what, maybe 3 games through the regular season, right?
Me too.
Right? They're going to play 3 games through the regular season. And
Wait a minute. You talking about the East?
yeah, I'm talking about the Bucks playing the Lakers. I think they
It's
have
gonna be 2 times.
2 times, right? Right, 2 times, right? 2, 3 times. Yeah, I mean, those games don't really those games make for good television if it's like a Christmas game or whatever and both of the teams are playing good. You follow what I'm saying, Flight? But they don't really impact you but so much. You know what I mean? This really only really comes up as an issue if you're running into each other, and we're talking about these guys seeing each other in the finals, which, you really don't, anything could happen through the course of the season. So I don't think that it really has any real bearing on the Lakers. Even if the Lakers win 2 games or the Bucks win 2 games, it's still, there's always circumstance throughout the regular season of why that may happen. But I don't think that I don't think that those are telling tales, the games that they play head to head versus what's going to happen in the finals. If you follow what I'm saying, Flight.
Yeah, but we're more lengthy. That like other than for Vincent, our height average across the court now is 6'5", where before Ham was playing that 3 guard rotation, where the tallest where the average was 6'3". Like we don't have that problem this year. At, from Reeves start at 6'5", you got Cam at 6'8", and you have Max at 6'6". Small forward. Vandal is 6'9". Prince is 6'7". So we're not doing that 3 guard lineup that Ham did last year. Even if he did a 3 guard lineup, our average across the court would be 6'5", and we're better prepared for the double screen where we wasn't prepared for the double screen last season. So you could try that double screen with us, but you're still going to get somebody at the same height or taller.
I mean, I think the Lakers were a pretty big team last year. I'm not so caught up on the height thing. I mean,
No,
having a taller team has an advantage. I mean, the Bucks are a pretty tall team. I mean, they're the people that they have in their front court Huge. They have tons of defense, tons of rim
No, no,
protection.
no, 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 no. I'm not talking about the front court. I'm just talking about 1 through 3.
Right.
1 through 3, we are more lengthy because Ham had a tendency last year, especially prior to the trade, because Walker was our starting small forward, and he's only what 6'4",
I mean,
and
true, but
so
I still don't think the Lakers are a better shooting team than the Bucks. The Bucks are still a better shooting team than the Lakers. Period.
I I I think this year they're going to shock people. It's especially with the shooting is. I think it's definitely going to be an improvement, and they're starting with each other from training camp, not just from the trade deadline. So the the chemistry that they showed after the trade deadline was actually bonkers. Not only did they gel together, they was trying to figure out where each person not only wanted to catch the ball, where they would be on the court to score better for offense and defense. Now, two pests of the NBA last season are now on the same team. Vando was one, Prince was the other. Now they're both on the same team, backing up each other. That 1-2 punch. Most teams don't have that. And Cam, it, it, even though the injury happened, he normally guards one of the better offensive players on the opposing team, and he has done that throughout his career and has several games of 20 points. So you have Reeves, you have D'Lo, who during the regular season, monster. Playoffs, suspect. I give you that.
During the
But
regular season,
eh,
during the regular season, monster one game, 3 duds maybe. He's up and down through the regular season and in the
I,
postseason.
I, 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 I'll give you that for the postseason. But for the regular
I'll take
season,
that for the regular season too.
he runs the offense the way that it needs to be run, and this
D'Lo,
is one of the
D'Lo, y'all
first
got a few
time.
good games out of D'Lo. D'Lo, look, I like
Okay.
D'Lo. I'm a big D'Lo fan. I've been a D'Lo fan from when he was a Laker initially. Then when he went to the Nets.
Hmm.
But D'Lo is not. Don't let the Kool-Aid fool you. That dude is not a consistent player. If he was, that was one of the things I thought that you guys could have a huge advantage if y'all could figure out how to really get D'Lo involved in an every game basis. If y'all figure that out, and you can get a quality D'Lo on a game to game basis, your team will be great. Lakers have a good roster, but if he's playing consistently, you don't need dudes like Dennis Schroeder. Remember, is the
No,
reason
I
why
didn't
y'all
even
won the
want him.
playing game.
I
He's
did.
if without Dennis Schroeder, y'all don't even get to the postseason. So remember that, you know what I mean? You had other dudes on there who contributed also to back up the fact that you guys were still weak at the point guard, even with D'Lo. So, you got to be real about what we're dealing with here. D'Lo has always been an inconsistent player.
Well, I feel personally he plays better in the regular season than
I agree
the
with you there too. I agree with that also, for sure.
so literally we have Vincent backing him up who plays defense and can make his own shot. I'm sorry, develops his own shot, so it won't be a lag in the offense if the pass isn't there. Then we have Cam or Max or even Prince could slide in right there off of the bench. So I mean, it's like 1 through 3. I'm totally. I actually think Palinka saved his damn job. But when it comes to the 5 position, he never really reached that since the bubble to me until last season. But then I don't know the conversation him and Jones had. That conversation him and Jones had, soon as the man inked the contract right after that, the man said, "Oh man, I don't want to be a Laker." And that was right after the meeting with Palinka. So that's the part I don't get. Because Jones would have been he runs the floor like a gazelle. We needed him. So but other than for that, I don't see them. I don't think Dame. I, I'll say this. I think people are underestimating the Lakers' defensive pieces that they bought in slash offensive pieces that they bought in because a lot of those players are dual threats. And now I think the Lakers are have more in the war chest where they're ready to go to battle. Before it was suspect or whatever, but I think maybe Palinka's waiting for the buyout market for a center, even though we do have Castleton. But I just don't want to stunt his development. And that's the way I look at him. I just don't want to stunt his development. So as far as the Bucks going against the Lakers, I don't see. I think that's actually going to be a damn good matchup. Like damn good matchup overall. Actually, I see it breaking 50-50. Flight may not agree with me, but I really think I could see them breaking 50-50. One game to one game to the other.
Yeah, I try not to. I try not to jump the gun on these things because each season is a unique and different season. But the Lakers have a great roster on paper. So we'll see what happens with them. The Lakers have they're always going to have their issues with we already know street clothes and LeBron ain't getting no younger. But I think the Lakers have good pieces. I think they did what they needed to do to keep the pieces that allow them to continue the trajectory that they're on and keeping Reeves and keeping Hachimura. So I mean, to me, those things. If you can get if the Lakers could figure out how to get D'Lo involved in games early and keep him involved, I think the Lakers will always be a problem. I think that was one of my points last year with the Lakers, and
Hmm.
they weren't able really to do that consistently, and then D'Lo becomes a liability and he becomes a stand around watch everybody do their thing dude if he doesn't get involved in the game plan. So they have as good a chance as anybody. I still think that they're better than the Suns right now, so they're getting tons of gratuity from me right now. I still think the Lakers, as far as on paper, have a very quality team. So maybe you're not hearing that because I'm not a Lakers fan per se, but just know I think the Lakers are in good shape. And
No, I just think we're lacking that one position. Like for me to be content, I know a lot of other Laker fans are happy, and they're saying, and we got Kristen Woods, but Kristen Woods not gonna get that same 26, 28 minutes a game. So I don't see that 17 points coming from him like that.
well, I mean,
So
I think that's the issue with the Lakers in general is that you're going to have a bunch of dudes who are going to have to compromise on their ability to contribute. And so things as far as ideally in a perfect world, the Lakers are great. But we all know that the world ain't perfect. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to deal with adversity just like any other team. But as far as rosters go, I mean, even though you could say I have questions about this, I think the Lakers pound for pound probably have the best roster in the NBA.
I, 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 I could kind of see where you're coming from with that. I'm just concerned about that five position because I've watched Jax play here in New Orleans. If and they actually moved him from the center position to the power forward position for a reason because he was lighting the caboose. And now you're bringing in Kristen Woods, who's also 216, 220, 225 at the most, and you're putting him at center. Like and that's why I have my full concerns. And that's just me as a Laker fan. That's why I have my full reservations and concerns. But if the buyout market happen and they can find a decent center, oh yeah, I mean, I'm just asking for an average center. I'm just asking for somebody that can give me 10 minutes. If I can get 10 minutes, I'm happy. but as far as the Bucks, I think the Bucks they got what they really wanted, like that more offensive minded guard. But I just think the Bucks gave away a like a six foul hitter that they normally put on the best player to aggravate them, which was Allen. And with them getting rid of him, I that's the part of the whole that I think they're gonna understand that they're lacking on from this point forward.
I don't think the Bucks are gonna. I don't think the. I mean, I've watched Grayson Allen last season. Um, Grayson Allen is one of those dudes who's been kind of inconsistent. They have dudes on the bench, quiet as kept. They have guards over there on Milwaukee's bench
Oh
that
yeah,
young guards that were not getting played that they probably definitely deserve because they was sitting behind the bench behind Grayson Allen and Connaughton, who seemed like he lost a little bit of a step last year also. So I don't think that I think that I see where somebody could have your concern because I mean I think that Jrue Holiday you do lose. I mean Jrue Holiday is a great defender, but think about it. Like if we were really taking a look and we go into these All-Star games and you have Jrue Holiday and Damian Lillard, like you've got a top chip guard for let's be real. I mean amongst all NBA point guards, I mean Jrue Holiday is a lower echelon all-star. Damian Lillard is, he's a first team type caliber all-star. So he'll make up the difference between whatever Jrue Holiday was going to do and Grayson Allen was going to do offensively. Defensively, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to find some other people. But the rest of the Bucks defense, the rest of the Bucks team is a tremendous defensive team. I mean, between Brooke Lopez, Robin Lopez was up for like defensive player of the year last year, and he's the person that just came to the team. Mind you, he's playing with his brother. You still have
TT Washington Jr. too.
And you still have Booby. You still have Giannis, who's a great defender. So I mean, yeah, you're missing a little something at the guard, but remember that this is going to open up a spot for. To me, I think that they'll be able to get some. I always like when there's an opportunity for some young players to get a chance to play. Chris Middleton, they're probably going to manage his minutes, but Chris Middleton is actually a good defender. He'll be healthier this year, which will help him out.
I think Champ is gonna play better.
Yeah, that's the kid. I think that's the kid I'm talking about. That kid is actually good. I like
That's
that.
the small forward. Yeah, he
has a lot of elements to his game I liked when I saw him play. So I'm excited. I'm excited for him, and I think that also sometimes that kind of helps things out. Plus, Jrue Holiday, and I think that Giannis. I think that they did all of this just to kind of appease Giannis. So I still think the Bucks. We know that the Bucks have lost a little bit defensively, but they've gained a lot offensively. Let's be honest. I mean, Grayson Allen and Jrue Holiday together, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't. I mean, Damian Lillard is both of their offensive outputs put together combined on any given night.
And then
like you
Giannis'
said, you're
brother
going to be
should
missing
play
those.
better.
But the thing that you are missing with him is that you and I both know. I'm not naive to the fact that Jrue Holiday is a dude who could steal the ball. He can come up with 5 steals in a game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, he's a dude who can actually change the
Tempo.
he can change the game defensively.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that the trade was fair?
Hell yeah. I think it was a great trade.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it, Purple?
I was thinking the same. I don't like when people say like Milwaukee got to upgrade in scoring, which I felt like they needed. Defense is always good, but they really needed somebody to help Giannis put the basket in the hole, especially since I was about to call him Blake Griffin. Brooke Lopez. I don't know why I'm thinking about Blake Griffin. He must be got to do something.
He's still a free agent.
But it just helps.
I think so. And I think another thing, Purple. See, I'm about this. Like all of this stuff sounds good. Everybody sounds good in paper. This is the reason why I try not to get too high or get too low. Because you can get to that point where you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be great, and then your team ends up being an ass all year, and you're just sitting around like, oh my goodness. Or you could be like, hey, you know what? I don't know. We know maybe. And then your team has a great season like Milwaukee did last year. But it all means nothing if you get to the playoffs like Milwaukee got last year when they played against the Heat. And I hate to tell you, but Jrue Holiday, I think it was like game 5 or something like that. I pointed this out last year. I don't know if I pointed out on Flight Sports. I'm pretty sure I was on here then. I pointed out that part of the reason the Heat won is because a couple of dudes on the over there on the Bucks. I hate to say it, they got kind of exposed. They punked Jrue Holiday. They straight punked him, and he fell apart. He fell apart, and you're not going to do that to Damian Lillard. They punked Jrue Holiday last year. All right, late in that series, and you could see it. I never saw the Bucks ever lose composure like they did in like that game 5. I mean, that one game where Jimmy Buckets went crazy and had like 45 and took them to overtime. Remember that game?
Yeah.
I mean, you wasn't stopping Jimmy Buckets in that game at all. But it wasn't just the fact that Jimmy Buckets did that. It's also because of the offensive breakdowns. Jrue Holiday with 2 or 3 turnovers, just mysteriously out the blue, getting his handle picked and stuff like that. They just lost poise in so many different ways. So for me, I think that we're not the Bucks aren't looking at the regular season. They're looking at beyond that. And I think that Damian Lillard will be able to help them. Now, maybe Damian Lillard might be able to make a couple of defensive plays himself. He's not going to get like 5 steals a game, but you know what I mean? Damian Lillard might have a good year. And like I said, I like young players having an opportunity too, but I think you'll get a healthy Chris Middleton. And I think that, like you said, Purple, I think that the Bucks offense has increased tremendously. The Bucks offense, think about it. Damian Lillard is a dude who can actually carry an offense, right? You know what I mean? So putting him next to a dude like Giannis is a problem already. On a team that also, let me also point this out, the Bucks have everybody on the Bucks can shoot also. They have tons. Like, if you start overplaying people, the Bucks definitely got dudes who can knock down those threes, even including their center. You know what I mean? So you really only have one dude that's really really just a paint dominant dude, and that's Giannis. So I think it's actually a pretty good thing because Chris Middleton is a mid-range killer. He actually has 3-point range too. He has big playability, setting up one-on-ones in crucial situations. Damian Lillard has that, and then Giannis has the inside. This team is a dangerous offensive team for sure, Purple.
Yeah.
I mean, the Thunder is saying the same statement that I said earlier, but that is the situation with Dame. But that has been Dame's situation since I want to say his 3rd or 4th season in the league. Thunder. So it is good that the rest of the team plays defense.
I mean, this is easily the best team that Damian Lillard has played. And the other thing I like about it, Purple, is I like the matching of Damian Lillard and Giannis actually happening generically within organizations. We have so many dudes over here who are trying to build their own teams and stuff like that. You never heard Dame try to sit around and, try to play GM and you didn't see Giannis trying to play GM. They let it happen. They let the organizations know what it was, and the organizations went and put them in a situation. And both of these dudes, I think, will do extremely well together because both of those dudes are very focused on basketball. That's another thing. I think that their mindsets mesh. It's not like you're bringing in a dude that, Damian Lillard is very focused on basketball and he's very humble, and so is Giannis. So I think that personality-wise, I think that Dame is also a good fit for the Bucks.
Gotcha.
And they're both, and I think that both of them really want to win. I think they both like the idea of knocking down some giants.
I just hate that the NBA / media forced Dame into this whole situation because you normally don't hear from Dame in the off season. You normally don't.
I think that Dame knew he was. I think he knew that his time was up there. I think that when that CJ McCullough trade went down, it was really only a matter of time. So
The writing was on the wall then.
absolutely, I think that's the only reason why Dame said what he said in the offseason. He knew that it was, hey, you know what? The Trailblazers got to go somewhere. You know what I mean? And the West ain't getting no easier.
Right.
I mean, the West is tough. Like it's like, think about it. Even if you look at teams that people scrutinize, like the Mavericks are a good team. You know what I mean? The Trailblazers ain't better than them. Trailblazers aren't better than the Pelicans. We laugh at the Pelicans. Trailblazers ain't better than them.
Nah,
Trailblazers doesn't.
Mavs chemistry isn't better than Portland, but on paper, their players are better. Their
I mean, that's
chemistry isn't
debatable. That's debatable. I mean, I'm gonna tell you the
okay.
reason why. Because first off, Damian Lillard is a great player, but Damian Lillard is not a Luka player. I mean, Luka does. This dude is a walking triple double. This dude grabs rebounds. Yeah, he has a little bit of defensive liability. So does Dame. But Luka is a special talent, a type of dude who can win a basketball game by himself. Kyrie Irving is also one of those special talents. So, they have a couple, they don't have like the overall team, which of course, they're going to work on building because they got rid of some of those dudes when they remember when they had the Jalen Brunson team and they went to the postseason the year before. So they gave up a little bit of their stuff defensively without having a Michael Finley. But that's why I say like the trade deadline is far off. And some of these teams are going to make trades. So I still think that the Mavericks, just between what they had and what the Trailblazers had Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons last year, Nurkic. And
I didn't even know
good.
they bought Exum back. I didn't even know they bought Exum back from Australia.
Gemini, we got to be real. The Trailblazers weren't good last year. The Mavericks were, I think they were like a 5th seed team. And then they kind of fell off. The Trailblazers was always a 10th, 11th seed. They weren't a good team last year. At all, ever. Am I wrong, Purple? Or help
No,
me,
you're not
if
wrong.
I'm lying.
Nope, you telling the truth.
I say the chemistry was better with Portland compared to should I base it like this? Are we talking post-trade deadline or pre-trade deadline?
We could talk either. I think the chemistry was better with the Trailblazers because the Trailblazers knew they wasn't shit and they wasn't going to be shit. So they had perfect chemistry. Anthony Simon shoot all day long. Damian, do whatever the hell you want to do. You know what I mean? We're still going to be down here at 11th somewhere. You know what I mean? We ain't beating any.
I'm going to ask you something. How do you think, how do you think the dynamic between Scoot, Simons, and Ayton is going to work?
I mean, to me, it's still a developmental team, Purple. You know what I mean? Because think about it. You just slap some dudes together right now. I don't think that they have like a super high ceiling. And mind you, they also even have like, until further notice, they have Jrue Holiday. So I'm going to assume that they're going to have all of those dudes with Jrue Holiday. I think that the team is, you have to look at it as a team they've got nothing to lose, right, Purple?
Nope.
I mean, Scoot's a rookie. So first off, he's got nothing to lose. The Trailblazers didn't even make the play-in, right? They weren't even a contender for the play-in last year. Mm-hmm. So the Trailblazers are basically, this is a rebuild process over there. You follow me? So nobody has anything to lose over there. Everybody has everything to gain. Deandre Ayton, I think, will be happy because, he's going to get the ball over there to do the things that he probably wanted to do when he was in Phoenix. I think that he's going to get as much work as he wants. And the thing about it, Purple, when you're playing on a team that's not good, that doesn't have any expectations, you really can't go wrong. Like, you could go, like, this is your time to go after a scoring title. You know what I mean?
And not scoring title.
I mean, but these are the type of teams where you go for the scoring title on, because you got to do the work. Like, that's the thing that's so funny when they have these debates. When Michael Jordan came into the league, and he was the rookie of the year on the Bulls. The Bulls they were in a rebuild. Like, you know what I mean? Like, That's what you do on a team. If you got a team that's trash, like they not going nowhere unless somebody has a Herculean, you know what I mean, a Herculean season anyway. You know what I mean? So these are the teams that you get busy on. So I think that Scoot's in a great situation because he's going to be able to get all the work that he needs down there in Portland. You know what I mean? For the most part, him, Ayton, you know.
Oh, Gemini dropped out flight.
But still, I think it's a good conversation to have. It's anybody's guess as to what will happen, but I think it's going to be I think a statement has been made right now, especially in the East. I have a question for you, Purple. How do you feel about the Boston Celtics? They've made a couple of moves, and do you think that they're going?
I was thinking about that today, and I was like, I wasn't real hype over their transaction to get a Porzingis, and obviously they lost the team leader in Marcus Smart and one of their best defenders. And I like Derek White, but it's like I just feel like it's like they not gonna get over the hump.
What do you think is the problem?
I think, contrary to popular belief, between Tatum and Brown, I think like they've hit their ceiling together. And it's time for, obviously people say Brown, but it's time for one of them to go. And so a lot of people feel like it's gonna be Brown. I also feel like it's gonna be
They
Brown.
just got finished paying Brown.
To try something.
Brown got one of the biggest contracts I ever seen in my complete life. Shaq ain't never get a $300 million deal.
Right. And that's crazy. I just feel like
he ain't even a top tier. Like, that's what's crazy to me about it, Purple. Like, the NBA is nuts right now. This dude ain't even a top tier player. He ain't even the top tier of the players on his own team.
Like,
who's paying that money? Who do you think is paying that money to Brown?
I think he would have got. To be honest, I looked what he has accomplished, like what he's done since he's been here. I think he's overachieved, and with the salary cap going up, I mean, I'm not knowing how much money these owners make and stuff like that. Like, I ain't tripping off of what that man made. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't bother me. I think he could be like Jimmy Butler at worst. And Jimmy Butler is a pretty solid player. He's just not a number one. And I think that about Brown. I don't think one option.
Gemini said Poland would have paid him that money.
That's true.
Poland ain't paying nobody $300 million. Fuck out of here.
Charlotte, San Antonio.
I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done. The NBA officially makes no sense to me. The NBA has a problem. I'm gonna probably have to create my own platform just to talk about certain things, because the NBA got a problem right now, and the problem is giving out money to people and then finding out that they're not getting not even half the return of what they put out for these people that they giving this money to.
But how's that? Come on, quit? You really on the owner's side? So
I'm not on the owner's side. I'm not on the owner's side. But when you're giving a dude, listen, Purple. Help me understand. How are you justifying giving this dude a over $300 million contract? I mean, he ain't even the best player on your team.
And then, so you don't even think he's the second best player?
Second best player is fine, but you're gonna have to listen. You say that it may be time to move one of them, right?
Right.
All right. So this is all I'm saying. It's not about these owners that's out there. It's like, if I'm the owner, Purple Baby, think about if you're the owner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Rather than pay him that money, I'd be like, entertain the free market, because I can get somebody for him. I'm not. Nobody can tell me that Jaylen Brown is the type of chip player that if you put him in any situation, he's going to win you a chip.
Correct. I agree with that.
I mean, the money that he's getting, there's only a handful of players in the league that I would give that money to. And I hate to say it, he ain't one of them.
So, like, if Tatum would have got it, you wouldn't have had a problem. Or
I probably would have. I would have been. I would have been more comfortable giving Tatum that money just for certain things from what I've seen from them in the postseason and Tatum's ability. I'm not sure if Jaylen Brown can carry a team. I
No,
sometimes have questions if Jason Tatum can carry a team, but he's proven to me more that he can do that more so than Brown. You follow what I'm saying?
I
So
respect, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's Jimmy Butler to me. Like, he's a solid number 2, depending on who. Like, I want to make this scenario realistic, but I don't know who to use.
listen, and Thunder, I agree with you completely about we're looking at the inflation factor, right? So don't get it twisted. I understand that completely, right?
Right,
But it's just kind of hard for me, and I don't want to sound like the villain because I am not like, hey, owners, like these guys make a lot of money, right? But I
right.
think that the way that they're structuring putting money around the league is false. I think it's a bit fugazi. They
Mm-hmm.
can pay more money. They have dudes on the team. They got this guy Jaylen Brown is going to be making this astronomical amount of money on the team, right? But you do know that you can get a bunch of hardy dudes, like for example, like the Heat. The Heat got past them, and they didn't have all these dudes with this astronomically inflated. I can take that $300 million and split it up and actually pay some dudes who are actually going to give me the advantage to get over the hump. You know what I mean? Rather than pay this
But
one dude who ain't gonna make a difference. And if I put him on another team, if I go put him in a bump, if I go put Jaylen Brown on the Houston Rockets right now, just if I randomly just said, hey, go Jaylen Brown, I'm gonna put you on the Rockets, there's still gonna be a last place team. He ain't moving no needles like that.
and that's certainly true. However, once again, I told you he's not. He's Jimmy Butler to me. Like, Jimmy Butler has a ceiling, and everybody can't and shouldn't want to be Miami, because at the end of the day, we seen whether it's talent or effort, whatever side of the road you want to stand on. When it came to Miami, when they were in the finals, like, they fell short, and really, it's talent, scoring talent to be precise, that they desperately missed. Like, Jimmy is a number 2 to me. As talented as he
Mm-hmm.
is to me, he's a number 2.
Hey, and I don't disagree with you. I wouldn't pay Jimmy that kind of money either. But you know
Right,
how the NBA is. The NBA is this, it's a face league, right? But I'm
right,
but I'm gonna get off of that topic a little bit. I'm not mad at the overall what Boston is doing, because Boston has some pedigree in them. And I think that this year, more than anything else, it's on Jaylen Brown. Prove to me why you're worth this money. We gave you the bag now. I don't want to hear nothing. I want you to come out here and ball till we fall. We know the deficiencies that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have in the postseason is that these dudes both turn the ball over crazy, and that 1-2 thing is like my turn, your turn thing. I don't know,
right,
but I do like the Kristaps Porzingis pickup for the Celtics, and I'm gonna tell you for the reason why. Al Horford, in these past couple of seasons since they reacquired him, has, I think he's given him all that you can possibly expect from him. I think
right.
he's played over his head, especially for a dude who's older. And the writing is on the wall that you're not going to continue in the foreseeable future getting performances like that out of him. Porzingis can do all of the same stuff that Al Horford could do. He could hit from the 3. He has a good interior game. And unfortunately, Robert Williams
Mhm.
is a very injury pro. He has a very limited ceiling. I hate to say this. And this is from a dude, like, if you look at Robert Williams, he's a dude who can get a bunch of shot blocks, but he struggles to get you 10 rebounds. Kristaps Porzingis, really, he can get you shot blocks. He can get you those 10 rebounds. He can extend the floor. And with him playing next to Tatum and Brown, he doesn't even have like the pressure on him to, have to, be a primary cog in the offense. So I do get and understand the pickup of the Porzingis, and I think that will help the Celtics. The Celtics, the thing for the Celtics to me is, hey, JB and JT, y'all get together, man, and get a heart to heart, get a heart check. You know what I mean? And get serious, because we're playing in the big leagues now. You know what I mean? You guys, it's on you guys to get over the hump. If you guys are playing together, and you like sit down and make it, get your pride together, and you know what I mean. I think that the Derek White thing, I thought that was also because I think that they got rid of Brogdon too, didn't they? They let Brogdon go, right?
No, Brogdon's still there.
Oh, they still got Brogdon, and they're in good shape.
Yeah.
Because Derek White played well, and Brogdon is at least a point guard. And I'm gonna be honest with you, always felt like Marcus Smart was a good player, but Marcus Smart ain't no point guard. He really ain't no point guard. He ain't never been a point guard. They try to slap that together, and you know what I mean. His defense was keeping him on the floor, but Marcus Smart had the tendency to be Marcus dumb, and you know he did a lot of dumb shit in critical times. I think that Brogdon is actually a real point guard. Derek White is more, I would say, his game is kind of hard. I really don't qualify him as a point guard, but I think he's more like a two guard, I guess, a small forward in a little man's body. You know what I mean? In some weird way. So, but I like Derek White because Derek White gave you a lot of guts last year. So I think that I still think the Celtics have a fighting chance. I think the Celtics have a chance to be a really good team, but Robert Williams, I think that Porzingis helps him. Porzingis can get you 4 or 5 blocks in a game. Robert Williams can do the same thing. So you definitely have increased your ability to block shots around the rim. And Grant Williams, he gave you a lot of grit, but Grant Williams played over his head a couple of years ago. And come on, let's be serious. Grant Williams ain't scaring nobody. He had a couple of years ago when they went to the finals. Remember when he went to the finals, Purple Baby?
Yeah.
He ain't never playing better than that in his entire career. Let me just let you know that. You know what I mean? I might be wrong about that, but he was wet from 3 in some of the, like he played way over his head. And I believe in that. I believe that some players play over their head, like those like the dudes on the Heat, like that Gabe Vincent. I hope you don't expect that dude to show up every day for the Lakers, or that Caleb Martin. I hope you don't expect to see that dude play like that every game. You know what I mean? Because you can look at last year's regular season, and you can know that ain't the case. But in the postseason, those guys had a great run, right, Purple Baby?
Yep. Yeah, I definitely agree with that synopsis. I don't know where Flight is, but he got like Gemini wanting to get in, and Dex. I see Dex making comments, and what's his name? Dex better stop.
Oh, Dex. I haven't seen a comment from Dex in a minute. He said something about Scoot.
Yeah, talking about Charlotte. I don't. Scoot. He said Scoot's gonna show y'all why Charlotte is stupid.
Listen, let me share something with you. Scoot's gonna be able to do in Portland what he was never gonna be able to do in Charlotte. So it might look like it, but don't get it twisted. I'm not a fool. Listen, Purple Baby, there's something called fool's gold. All right, let me share with you how this works. All right, for those of you who don't know how the NBA works, if I go take anybody and I go put them on the Houston Rockets, they're gonna get busy over there. You know the reason why? Because the Rockets sucking ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody gonna tell you got a full green light over there. You know what I mean? You go play on another team, man. You gotta pass the ball to some people and shit like that. You know what I mean? Go sit your ass down. You know what I mean? Like you go to a bum team and you're gonna look electrifying, but then you take that same dude. I'm gonna give you a perfect. I can show you so many scenarios of where that has happened in this league, where a dude came out playing like fire.
Yep.
And then they go to another team and you're like, man, what happened to this dude?
Yep.
You gotta share the rock, man. In fact, one of those dudes from Charlotte did that. Who was that dude who used to shoot threes? It was one of them point guards that they had a few years back. Devontae Green, exactly, Purple Baby. Am I lying?
No. And I knew that was gonna happen.
Devontae Green went nuts one year. I remember in my fantasy league, I was like, I can't believe I left this dude on the bench. This dude was going nuts. Absolutely insane.
Right. Jalen. I think his name is Jalen. Yeah, because his brother name is whatever McDaniels it is. He's still a free agent. The one that was in Charlotte.
Yeah, but he's but then you go and look at him on the over there in New Orleans, man, and you're like, man, how do you even maintain your job? You got a Grand Theft Alvarado out playing him over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why, like, I'm never fooled by the illusion of a dude who's hot and then trying to, come and say, oh, this guy is better than this person. Well, It's easy to look good when you play on a team that's completely trash.
Yeah, or on a bad one, for that matter. Yes.
That's the whole thing. That's the reason why it's so funny. Because you have a lot of people who go back to these arguments with the Michael Jordan slander. Michael Jordan was one of the best players ever to step in his league when he came in. I mean, his numbers still stand up to this day. You can go back and take a look at the dude shooting over 50% on a terrible team, leading the league in scoring. And I mean, he just kept it up. I mean, the dude got 10 scoring titles. Scoring was never an issue for that dude, ever, in the NBA. We have not ever seen anybody who's realistically been able to stop that dude from scoring. A lot of these dudes can come in and you can have a season like Devontae Graham where you're unstoppable one year, but a lot of these dudes don't keep that up. That's the difference between some of these dudes and some of these other dudes. Like, for example, like Luka Doncic. One of the reasons why Luka Doncic has so much revelry with him is because he's doing it on a year-to-year basis. His numbers aren't falling off. You know what I mean? Now, of course, he's also passing, he's rebounding. So quite naturally, you get him some dudes around him. You know what I mean? Maybe you can go somewhere. So, I mean, when there's only a handful of players out there who really move the needle like that. And
I
that's
dig that, but Dre is wilding. Dre just said that Scoop is gonna bring a ring to Portland, then retire. Dre,
come on
you
now.
wilding.
Come on
What's
now.
in your cup? What are you smoking on?
Come on now.
I need to know.
Well, I don't know,
You
man, but
popping Molly or mushrooms? Like Dre popping something.
I don't know
Dre
what
popping
evidence.
something.
I don't know what evidence that Dre has to make him think that Scoop is the generational talent. You know what I mean? Is the generational talent that? But obviously he believes in him, and I'm not mad at him for believing that. Hey, you never know, man. Hey, R. Kelly said, "I believe I could fly."
Yeah, he did make that song. Yeah, you're right. He did make that song.
But I don't know if Scoop can. So
No, but see, here's the point. Nobody bring up, or they always try to take away. Scoop played in a faster the NCAA is not as fast paced as the G League.
right,
So the speed gap, he will be able to pick up quicker. Yes, I do agree with anybody on that metric. But when you come to overall career, I do not think if Miller, prime example, if Miller is used properly, I do not think Scoop will have a better career than this man. And that was my only, like, I gave both sides of the coin when I was asked would I draft Scoop or would I draft Miller, because is not all the time would you draft them, is how would the players use them. I mean, the coaches
right.
use them. So if the coach use him right, he will have a better career than Scoop.
Listen,
Scoop
I'm gonna
may
be
be a
honest with
better
you.
player, but he won't have a better career.
Listen, for as far as the Charlotte Hornets are concerned, the only thing that you're getting a player for is the play next to LaMelo. LaMelo's numbers he's shown that he could be a top player in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like, he actually really has produced some really, really nice numbers over there on a regular basis. I mean, the dude can score, the dude can pass. So it's really about building a team, to go around him, and what you already know from who was my man who was out last season?
Bridges. Bridges
Yeah, him
wasn't there.
and Miles Bridges has shown it also. So I mean, like, it's not you're not looking for somebody to come over there and, you know what I mean, like, break the code for the matrix for this team. You're looking for dudes who can play with these dudes, because these dudes are your future. So
Yeah,
over
but
there,
but
that's what it is.
yeah, but if you would have drafted it, I'm just saying, if they would have drafted Scoop, they would have been in a bigger conundrum than what they are already with their guard rotation. There already is a guard hiccup with Charlotte. I don't wish that on them, but it is what it is. So
Right.
now you
Facts. That's a
have
fact, because you're
so,
not supplanting LaMelo.
right. So like with the way that they was saying it, or the way they're trying to say, oh, Scoot will play point and Melo or just swap over the shooting guard. you still have a big hiccup when it comes to guards because y'all are guard heavy. We just talked about Phoenix being guard heavy, and we already know they're gonna cut down. So like, how if you already have a problem, why would you make the problem even worse?
No, I agree with you because people always forget. Like people love, like, oh, all these people, but people forget there's only one basketball. You know what I mean? And so, like, and basketball, real basketball is going to come down to, let's be honest, the final 2 minutes or so of a basketball game. And I say that for a reason. When everything is all equaled out and all even, now you're looking at who you're where are you really going to go with your basketball? You know what I mean? There's only if we're playing the game where we only have like 4 or 5 possessions, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, clearly you're going to go through the pecking order where that basketball is going to go. So some of these dudes, oversaturation sounds really good, but then this is where you're looking at overall what you have. Who's on your team going to play some defense? Who's going to get you your bucket? Who's going to grab you that rebound? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, these things are important because coming down the stretch of a real game, you're going to need to have the pieces to be able to make this happen. Not everybody on your team is going to be shooting a rock every time they touch it. And
Right, and that's what I was trying to point out when, like, when I brought up the scoop comparison, I was just bringing up the learning curve. The learning curve for the NBA, yeah, it's gonna be easier for him. Why? Because this man played in the G League for how many seasons? So he played with pros. So, but this young man played in the NCAA. He had to play within the way the coach wanted him to play. Now he has to develop within his own, on top of how many plays gonna be called for him, if a screen gonna be called for him, how many screens. I suggested using him like Reggie Miller,
hey, Dre,
especially with.
I agree with you about Scoot's ability to get busy down there. But I think that Aiton wants to rock too. I think that Shaden Sharp showed last year that he's Shaden Sharp is serious, and Scoot's got the rock in his hand. So, the only thing is I'm not going to jump the gun talking about some of the stuff that you was talking about about him being like, it sound like you ready to put him in the Hall of Fame already. But
Yeah,
he's got to prove to me, he's got to give me 2 seasons to be able to prove to me that he can do this. First off, it takes 3 seasons worth of doing something to prove to me that you're actually consistent, to be honest with you. Because remember,
thank
you
you.
have dudes who come out as a rookie, and then you have, what is it, that sophomore slump, right?
Yep.
A lot of times you see dudes have the sophomore slump, and a lot of times you see by the third year what this dude is really going to be. So the only difference between like him, the reason why I say for Charlotte, like LaMelo, no matter, and I was not, and I like LaMelo, and I think that LaMelo had certain areas of his game that needed to tighten up on a little bit. But the only thing really holding back LaMelo is his injury history right now. LaMelo Ball has already shown you, you know what I mean, pretty much what you're gonna get.
And
So
his wingman was out for a season, so he called himself doing a little bit more. That's why I honestly think he got hurt.
right, yeah. So I think that, well, the thing with him is LaMelo's had bad. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to say it on this platform, but I mean, I
No,
love.
Dre, I didn't say excuse. What I stated was the speed play. He can adapt quicker. Because when now, if you want to be technical, when Edwards first got in the league, he was average at small forward. But what position was he playing? Small forward. He was getting out muscled. He was getting punked on most nights. Don't make it sound like he wasn't. Zion is a man amongst boys. He came in with the weight of an NBA man. He came in with the physicality and athleticism of a NBA player. Ja plays like Westbrook, but below average shooter. So don't make it sound like he was a superstar on a bum team at the time. Ja was on a bum team. That's why his stock rose so fast. Please don't make it sound like this man went to a great team, dog.
Did you
All
just say
right,
Anthony? Did you say Anthony Edwards was playing small forward?
yes, he was playing small forward with the Wolves. That's what they had him as. He just changed himself. This at the end of last season, they just changed him to shooting guard.
So let me ask you a question. When
Uh
Anthony Edwards is playing small forward, who was the starting shooting guard?
huh. I will have to go back on their roster and check, but he was down as a small forward.
Well, go ahead and please check. Let me know who was the starting shooting guard.
All right, so let's go back and take a look at that Minnesota team. So they had D'Angelo Russell. That's who they started with last year
Russell.
at the point guard, right? He was the point. Actually, they started with what's
Wasn't
his
it
name?
Beverly? Him and
Patrick
Beverly
Beverly
starting?
was actually the point guard, and D'Lo was like the two guard, I think, initially. That was
And
the initial.
Edward was the small forward.
But they got rid of Beverly, and then D'Angelo. He's a combo guard, so he really went to play point guard. And I don't even know who they had playing the two guard over there, because I know that they had a Kyle Anderson coming in, but he was coming off the bench, playing like the 3-4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing the 3-4, and he was also facilitating a little bit. They were getting a lot out of that guy.
And they had Prince, over there too.
And Prince is a 3. He's not a 4.
No, Prince was playing between 2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 and 3. But Prince ain't really a 2 at all. Like, we gotta.
Well, he's 6'6" and tenacious on defense.
I think they was getting the most out of him. I think they was running combo players. But I think that's a good. Who is the dude who just came on? What's your name?
That's Spike.
All right, Spike. Yeah, I think that's a good question.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I want to know who was the starting shooting guard on that team. 2020,
that's a good
2021.
question, because I think that when they made those moves, Anthony Edwards had to have played some two guard.
What's up, Pearl baby?
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards had to play some 2 on that team, didn't he?
But
he played 2, but they had him on the roster as a small forward.
I just looked at Basketball Reference and he was listed as a shooting guard.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find out who was the starting shooting guard if it wasn't Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, because I thought Beverly came off the bench. I remember D'Lo was starting with Anthony Edwards, and then
it was D'Lo and your boy who was just the Laker who got the podcast now. He was starting also. Beverly.
You sure he was starting?
He was starting.
So when did D'Angelo Russell?
When they made the playoffs, yes, he was starting, and Edwards was the small forward.
So you telling me Beverly Edwards? That's small.
Yes, they was small, and that was the problem.
That's who they started with. They started with
yes.
Point. This is who they started the last year with. Says, mind you, they had some.
No, I'm talking about 2020, 2021. I'm just talking about last year.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about last year. When last year started, this was the team. They had Pat Beverly at the start of last year. They had D'Lo at the start of last year.
No, Bev last year was a Laker.
Oh, Pat Bev started last year as a Laker, or he got traded to the Lakers. Remember that he got traded there.
Oh yeah,
he got traded before the season started.
Oh, it was before the season.
Yeah.
You know it's
Beasley,
so crazy because I paid so
Beasley.
little
Stop. It was Beasley.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Beasley was the 2 guard before he got traded to the Lakers. And Beasley was playing pretty good over there.
Thank you, Thunder. It was Beasley.
That's a fact.
And Edwards was the small forward.
That's a fact. So it was D'Lo at the point, Beasley at the 2, and Edwards at the 3.
Yes.
And then Cat was playing power forward center.
Yes. And Gobert was playing center.
There you go. And they was using and then the 6th man on that squad was my man Slowpoke, Kyle
Anderson.
Kyle Anderson.
Yeah.
Did y'all realize who the starting 2
not
was?
Slowpoke. Yeah, we said it was Beasley.
So Beasley started over Anthony Edwards?
No, Anthony Edwards
was
started
the
at 3.
small forward.
And that's a fact. That is actually their lineup.
Beasley where you see that at? Where you see that at? Or post
I
the
mean,
link in the chat.
that's who their team was last year.
I mean,
Spikes?
now I'm not talking about 2020, 21.
Oh, the year before that?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what he said. He said Anthony Edwards was the small forward. He didn't change the shooting guard till the end of this past season that just passed. So I'm trying to find out who was the shooting guard when Anthony Edwards was the rookie.
It was Beasley. Beasley been there.
All right,
Beasley been there like for 2 seasons.
put the link in the chat for that, please.
Spike.
No, but he's
Beasley
right
was
about
there
that.
for 2 seasons.
If he's right, just put the link in the chat so I can see. I don't like taking people's word for it.
Oh, well, why don't you?
But you look it up, my dude.
No, I did, and I didn't find that. That's why I'm asking y'all to put the link in the chat. Damn.
All right, so check it. Go to NBA.com and put in the actual team. Put in the Minnesota Timberwolves, and then put in the season for them, and it'll show you their whole roster.
Good night. You said go to NBA.com and do what?
Yeah, NBA.com, because NBA.com you can go look up every team individually.
So what I'm gonna see, the depth chart or what?
Yeah, you can go to the go to NBA.com, put in Minnesota Timberwolves, and then put in the year, and it'll show you and look for a roster. It'll actually show you the roster.
I want to see the depth chart.
It'll show you all of that. It'll show you every player on that team.
All right, I'm looking right now.
Yep, take your time. NBA.com is a great resource. We're all sports fans here. We all been there. Oh, I would go, but when I go, then it's gonna mute me off of this stream. So.
Yeah, I don't want it. It will do the same for me.
Sometimes it even kick you off. I'm not trying to go through all of those kind of things. If I was like sitting in front of my iPad or something and wasn't just sitting here chatting casually, then I would just go look it up on my iPad. But I'm not in a situation where I could do that at the moment. But he's right about that though, Spike. I could tell you he's speaking straight physics.
Beasley was the starting shooting guard.
All right, what do you filthy animals up here quibbling about?
No, we're not
good,
quibbling.
brother.
Beasley was the starting shooting guard for the Timberwolves. And Spike
But
said
that year
that
that he talking about,
that he
that would have
think
been
I'm wrong.
his rookie season, right?
Yes, that was his rookie season.
The year y'all talking about is his rookie year, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't.
But during that rookie season, that was a pandemic year. But during that rookie season, he was switching both 2 and 3.
Right, exactly. And I was talking about that too, because all of the players
In the
that
game,
have
but
over in
starting
Minnesota
the
were
game.
swing players.
Right. But we're talking about the start of the game. The start of the game.
No, but that was the starting lineup. Beasley was the starting 2, and Anthony Edwards was the starting 3.
Yes.
I'm confident in that because Beasley was always a starter over there.
Now, you guys talking about Scoop. And Quiz up here making it seem like Scoop can only get busy because he's playing with a trash team like Portland Trailblazers.
That's not what he said, Dex. But
that's what he insinuated. He didn't say that, but he insinuated
saying that are two different things.
No, it ain't. It all rounds out.
Yes,
and so I just want to share a little bit about this. Scoot Henderson, even if Damian Lillard was there, he's going to do his thing. He is the type of player that he's an alpha male. He doesn't take a backseat to nobody. And his hubris is what helped push Damian Lillard over the cliff. Now, I believe Damian Lillard deserved better at Portland than what the GM, Joe Corian, has displayed to Damian Lillard. I think he spit in Damian Lillard's face and said, "Oh man, it was raining."
Thank you. Finally, somebody saying it. Thank you.
And Chauncey Billups, he's just as happy as a lark. Because now he has
mad with that Ayton trade. He gonna be mad at that Ayton trade, dog.
I don't know this yet because sometimes a new environment, a new atmosphere changes a person. So let's see if DeAndre Ayton, the non-Bohemian nightmare, can become that number 1 pick that he was and show some type of courage to play some
I
real
agree.
basketball and not sit
I
there and
agree.
pout all
Thank
damn
you,
game.
Dex. Thank you, Dex. Thank you, Dex. I concur completely.
So meaning so hold up. And I just want to get Dex on the record with this. So basically, you saying that he would have to change what his personality, and he would have to change his team chemistry in order to develop back into
You mean his
that number
approach
one
to
draft
team
pick.
chemistry? You mean his approach to team chemistry?
Yeah, approach.
His
Yes.
approach to team chemistry. The thing about that, I agree that he have displayed a very nasty attitude, and his behavior is unbecoming for someone who's drafted at number one to be a cornerstone of a franchise and even change the direction of the franchise, which he was unable to do. And he was really no help to Booker. Okay, let's just put it out there on the table. He was really no help to Booker. Now, he was disgruntled. I don't really know the gist of it all, but he
Hmm.
was disgruntled because
He wanted
by him being
touches.
not only do he want his touches, he felt that he was being viewed by being the first round pick and being able to qualify for his rookie extension to receive a max. So
There you
he
go.
felt that he was
There you
being
go.
lowballed by not getting the opportunity to be amongst the elite rookies of his class.
That I agree with. That now saying it like that, that's what I agree with.
And so by him being disgruntled, it showed. He showed that he was unhappy because he felt he was being unfairly treated, similar to Marvin Bagley up there in Sacktown. They did some similar shit, and we might have saw some of that with Charlotte if Michael Jordan stayed at the helm towards LaMelo.
I want to bring this and put it into perspective because you heard me alluding to the fact that Scoot could only, all right, only get busy on a trash team, which I really wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that Scoot couldn't play on a good team either. I was just pointing out the fact that playing on a trash team really can help you out because I was responding to a comment somebody said. He said that Scoot's going to bring a ring to Portland and retire in Portland. How do you feel about that comment, Dex?
Well, we don't know. He haven't even bounced a basketball in a
Eh,
meaningful game in a Portland uniform, so we don't know just yet what he's going to do. You know what I mean?
exactly.
He could
Exactly.
be the next up and coming Isaiah Thomas. I don't know, but I tell you what, he have a mindset like that.
Right.
Scoot
Yeah.
feels that
See,
he's the best
so
player on the
Scoot
team. Go
right
ahead,
now,
Spike.
Scoot is he has a world of success and opportunity in front of him. All right. So
I agree.
right now, his ceiling is as open as it can be. Once he starts playing, then we'll see how those parameters start to shrink, where his game is really limited at, and we'll see who he is for real, for real. But right now, we can't say he can't bring a ring to Portland. We can't say that right now. There's no way we can say that right now. So it's, aside from just saying I want to hate on Scoot Henderson and say what his cap is when I actually have no damn clue.
And
No,
check
I'm
this
not.
out.
No, wait. Hold on, Dex. Wait.
Can
Hold
I
on,
ask?
Dex.
Can I ask you that?
Dex.
I'm
Dex.
speaking.
Because
Hold on, Dex. Hold
Oh,
on, Dex.
you
I am
you sound
speaking
like a
on
hit
the
dog right now, Gemini.
organization. No, wait. Hold on,
the
Dex.
hit dog
I
gonna
am.
holler.
I am personally speaking on the organizational GM of Portland when I speak on it. That's why I disagree with it. It's not that a hit dog gonna holler. Don't do semantics. Say my name if you're gonna mention me, pimp. I said when I referred to Dre comment, I'm literally thinking of the GM, in the organization, and they're not a free agent destination. So when you speak on me, say my name. Have the balls to
Okay,
say my name.
okay, Gemini.
Hey,
Have
don't
we seen this
Gemini, don't
before?
do that.
Hold on
Gemini,
one
I
second,
wasn't
Spike.
speaking on you, Gemini, but you sounded like a hit dog just now.
No,
So,
I said
so
it to
Gemini,
hit
I'll
to.
say
I'm
your
speaking
name
to
now,
the
Gemini.
GM and the organization.
So Gemini,
Okay,
I'm
okay,
speaking
I'll
to the
say your name
GM and the
now, Gemini.
organization
Gemini, I'm
that
gonna
that
say your name
that
now. Hold on,
listen,
Gemini.
that messed
lose
up
my train of
Dame,
thought.
Hold
that
on,
messed
hold
up
on, Gemini.
Dame,
Hold on, Gemini.
now y'all want to make it seem like the GM been doing his job the whole damn
Hey, hold
time.
on,
But
Gemini.
Really,
Gemini,
really,
but
Gemini.
really.
hold that thought, Gemini. Go ahead, Spike. But hold that thought, Gemini. We're gonna get back to that. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Spike.
yeah, yeah.
Finish.
So as far as the front office goes, that could change any season. I don't know. I can't call what they're gonna do, but what I know is they're not the same team that Damian Lillard had. They're not gonna be that. They're not going for that. They're not gonna play the same way they played with Damian Lillard. The GM, the front office is not gonna play the
Yeah,
same type of
heliocentric. Heliocentric.
exactly. They're not. That's not the case anymore. So they can turn into a contender at some point if they make good moves and if certain players pan out to be certain things. Deandre Ayton he's already got championship experience. Deandre Ayton was the
And
number one pick. Deandre Ayton was the best player in the country in his class.
You
Deandre
say he got
Ayton feels
championship experience. What ring does Aiden have, sir?
he played in the championship. Is that not experience? Is that
Did
championship
he win the
experience?
ring?
He
No,
played.
wait, Gemini now.
no,
Because
no,
when Quiz said
no.
Damian Lillard had championship pedigree, you didn't challenge that. So why you challenge Spike?
I wasn't on the line. I wasn't on the line. I was in the background waiting on flight. I've been was
I think
trying
it
to
was.
say something.
I
Rubber
think he was
baby,
on the
even
panel
tell
at
you
the
that.
time.
Hey
I
man,
was in the bag.
hey man. I know what you be doing, Gemini,
Okay,
and start with an
so go
L
ahead.
and
So
end
go
with an
ahead.
E. I know what you be doing.
Nah, man. Nah,
Well, listen,
man.
we're gonna get into all
Anyway,
that. But check this out.
DeAndre
But
Ayton
listen,
does
let
have
me say what I was
championship
Man,
gonna say.
say
experience.
playoff
I'm
experience,
too
I
old
agree
to
with
hold
you.
my
No, he
You
thoughts.
has
say
Please let me
championship
championship
express
experience.
myself.
experience, I disagree with you.
He played in the championship.
He does.
How can you
He does
disagree
have
with that?
championship experience.
He has
If Damian
experience
Lillard,
playing. Yeah, he has experience
Playing
if
playing.
Damian
sorry and
Lillard,
getting your
Hold
ass
on.
kicked by 26 points
He
isn't
hasn't. He
championship
hold on. I
experience.
don't give a
he
damn
had
what you
two
call it.
rings.
It's a
He
fact.
had two
It's a
Oh
rings.
fact. He
my
compete.
god,
Hold on. I don't give a
Oh
damn
my
what
He
you
was
call it.
god.
halfway there.
It's a fact that he
Gemini, he
competed.
was halfway there.
Bruh, I love when y'all be delusional about certain players
No,
and then
Gemini,
don't want to
Gemini, he
catch
got 50%
reality
of the ring,
on those
right?
same players, dude.
Gemini,
Like
didn't he get
I love
50%
it,
of the
my
ring?
dude.
Gemini,
Huh?
did he get 50% of the ring? He was up 2-0, and he had two more games to go to close them out, and they failed to do it. They didn't win another game.
But I gotta.
Okay, but listen, let me get my
Uh,
thought before you go purple, baby.
okay.
Hold on one second. So
Okay.
when we go back to Portland, Dre is not ahead of himself by visually visualizing that Portland could be champions one day, right? They were champions before, right?
Hmm.
With the surfer, with the beat meat surfer, what you call them people? The Woodstock type people,
Yeah,
hippie,
yeah,
hippie.
yeah.
So they won a championship with that. So with School Henderson, there's it's feasible that they can
Yeah,
win a
I don't know what
championship
happened to
because
Dex, but
because
for you to say,
I'm
oh,
still here. I'm out. You can't hear me.
we can hear you now.
Nah. We can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm saying that it's feasible for Portland to win a championship because we've seen this happen before. We saw with the Detroit Pistons with Isaiah Thomas. Whoever thought that team, that Isaiah Thomas team, will ever win a championship? Because do you remember how god awful they were when Isaiah got to that team? It
Their
was all
defense
offense,
made their
no defense.
offense though. Their defense
But
made their
but
offense.
listen, look at the transition they made.
Hmm.
Detroit Pistons was one of the highest scoring teams, as well as the Danny Shades Denver Nuggets were the highest scoring team in the league that year. I mean, in those years, in the very early '80s, the Alex English and all those guys.
And
And
Detroit was the magicians of the double screen. Like that
but
double
listen to what
screen
I'm
was
saying.
nasty.
Listen, hold on. We don't want to get too far out there. I'm just using this as an example that we've
Okay.
seen this before. All of us that's older, we've seen this before. A team that was just high profile offense had no defense. They would run up the score or they get blowed out, and then all of
Right.
a sudden the team changed when they got the new coach. And then they became defensive oriented. They got some drafts. They got some tough guys. And next thing you know, Isaiah Thomas was surrounded by bad boys. And they went back to back. But if you looked at Isaiah in the early 82, 83, and all that stuff, you would never thought that he would get a ring. Ever. Because they were so far off. So we
Okay,
can't say that.
okay, but Dex, with knowing me, and you know how I put a lot on Palinka specifically, especially when it comes to the Lakers. You don't think I'm gonna do the same thing when it comes to the Portland GM who failed Dame? You don't think I'm still gonna point that out, my dude?
Quiz, what happened? You no
Huh?
Quiz, what's going on? Is Quiz still here? No, Quiz gone. Come back, Quiz. Go ahead.
For,
Say
for,
that again.
no, I'm saying the same way you have heard me every time put it on Palinka.
Well,
You
listen,
don't think
we
that
all
I'm
know
gonna
Quiz
put it?
just loving the Lakers.
Wait. I'm just saying. You the same way I put it on Palinka. You don't think that I put it on the Portland GM? You don't think that I have not put it on Charlotte GM? Think about it. I haven't changed. I haven't
But
changed
listen,
from my script.
listen, but listen, nothing. Listen, we listen. The Lakers are making change. The Portland Trailblazers making change. Charlotte Hornets stagnated. They are rumbling with below mediocrity. I mean, they're
No, that's
below
not what I'm
mediocrity.
saying. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I have kept it on the GM desk. I have not moved it from the GM desk.
All I'm saying is this: Portland
See?
could be champions one day. That's all I'm saying. There's not. It's not far fetched. Alluded to that, I can rock with it.
I mean, with what the GM has shown to the average fan, it would be um delusional thinking because of what the GM has done of the past. Now, this is the same GM, so what's all of a sudden going to change? And the other tidbit that I did mention was now we're going to see how Chauncey Billup can coach them. I did, I entered him at the small realm of it, but I'm really concerned on how the GM I think is going to also lie to Scoop Henderson. I'm not going against that sentiment. What you got, Perp?
No, I was just asking. I don't know if Quiz and oh my God, the other guy is still here. But I was just gonna say,
Quiz, Spike, and
are y'all?
Spike,
Dex.
Spike.
Well, ask y'all. Are y'all concerned about Aiden mentally,
Not,
his mental health?
not mental health. I'm more worried about like his chemistry within the offense of the team because it, from what he has showed up to this point, that's just like someone saying, "Oh, I want this player from this team," but you know the chemistry is not going to mesh well and it's not going to gel well. Like I look at the overall chemistry of players amongst the systems that they're playing in. I don't just look at a name and get starstruck because I've been around entertainment for years. So I don't look at the name and be, oh, yeah, he's going to make it. No, I look at what the overall team chemistry is going to be.
I mean, as long as he, I don't know, and his motor, like that's just what I question. I hope it was really just whatever was going on between him and Chris Paul and the coach and stuff like that, and then the Phoenix organization. Like I'm gonna try to keep my eye on Aiden because it's just like, bro, you ain't got nothing now. They're gonna
Yeah,
work.
but purple. It wasn't just between him and Chris Paul. He was also
Booker.
going at it with Booker. So I mean, it wasn't just that scenario, like he literally said it on several interviews. He think he deserved more touches. So with saying that, how is Chauncey gonna combat and coach that? Is my overall statement, because I do not see him asking for less touches just because he's at Portland. I don't see him literally just turning in to a trench player, putback player like the um the average center, or the like. I don't see him doing that. I see I think he sees himself more of a stretch big, and with seeing yourself more as a stretch big, you need those
Wait,
touches for
stretch
those
big,
shots. I
stretch
said
big.
I
Explain
think
that.
he see
That's
himself
what I'm saying.
as
Explain
a
that how you
stretcher.
feel that he see himself like that. Because I don't recall him trying to stretch any offense.
That,
But you can educate
that's
me.
the only reason why I could see him asking for touches like that, my dude.
What
Like
about
I'm
down
going,
low? I mean, he's 7'2", right?
he's 7'2", but he he doesn't dominate on any given night.
Then you have opportunity to.
See, now we're doing apples and oranges. He's
Listen,
asking for the touches,
Quiz talked about there's one basketball, right? There's one
right?
basketball. And he's got blah, 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 blah. But I've seen the Los Angeles Lakers send 4 All Stars off their starting squad with one basketball.
That's why I didn't give no input on that, because I felt differently. Like I really felt differently with KD moving himself to power forward. I think that's really going to help. I think that if they would have kept Aiden, I really think that would have helped Aiden more, because KD is a phenomenal help defender. Um, but when it comes to like on ball defender, especially at the power forward position, he fouls more than he actually helps the team. So he puts himself and his team into a bad conundrum when he's tried to guard more power forwards. Especially when they outweigh him, because they outmuscle him, and then he gets emotional, and then he starts fouling. So as far as a help defender, I think that definitely would have benefited Aiden more, especially for the times Aiden gets beat. Um, Booker, they was talking about small forward. Bill, at first they was talking about um point guard, but I think now they have the personnel to have him as shooting guard. So like it's it was a four-headed monster, could be. Now it's a three-headed monster. And I mean, can they manage? I think they can manage before the playoffs, but when it comes to the playoffs, I think they're going to implode again. I honestly think they're going to implode again. But they got Nurkic, and he is that old school. I'm gonna be in the trenches and get my putback. Just give me maybe 8 touches a game, maybe 10 at max, or even say 12 at max. But Aiden really think that he needs to be in the 20 point a game slot, where I don't think within the Phoenix offense they're actually built for that at the center position. I didn't think that, because they were so much built on shooting, and that's just shooting. I'm not just talking about threes, like just shooting. Phoenix Suns have been built like that even before Monty Williams even got there. Or do you disagree, Deck?
I don't know.
Oh,
I need to see what I need to see from Aiden. That's all.
No, I dig what you're saying. I just don't think that and that's why I brought up
Mm.
possibly him thinking that he's a stretch big because he may see himself as a stretch big, but I don't see that amongst his game. Just because as fans of connoisseurs of basketball, we may see a player as this, that, and the third, but that player may see themselves more differently, even though they're not showing that amongst their game. Is
But
basically what I'm getting at, purple.
I've never seen DeAndre Ayton try to play like Kai Jones. I never seen him try to get the ball, dribble, take it coast to coast, and things of that nature. So I'm unaware of him trying to be a perimeter player when all I've seen him call for the ball was in the post or at the elbow or even pick and roll.
No, he didn't call for the ball. Like at least I didn't see about 12, 14 feet out. Like, but they haven't given him the ball.
But
I
that
mean,
could be resetting. I
they,
mean,
they,
just because he's that far out, that don't mean he's gonna take the shot. You know, we
well,
seen JaVale McGee with
I'm
the
just
Lakers
saying.
get the ball out there and he holds it, let the emotion continue, and then give it to who he's supposed to give it to. And it's only they give him that ball to basically reset or to get the defense to shift a little bit. Hopefully they bite. Sometimes they did, and sometimes they didn't. But in the overall scheme of it, the Lakers hoisted the Larry O'Brien Trophy that year, albeit
No,
it did come with
Dex,
mousy.
I get what you're saying, and that's also why I say a player may see themselves as something else, but us as basketball connoisseurs see amongst their game what they truly are. I say he may see himself as a stretch big.
That's what I'm saying. I
He
disagree with
may
that.
see himself.
I don't think he see himself that. I think he sees himself as what he was in Arizona, and that was dominating in the trenches. That was securing the restricted area. You got to remember, this guy was so outstanding in college at the University of Arizona, right? Playing up under what's that,
I
Sean
remember
Miller.
those years. I remember
Yeah, you
those
know what I'm
years,
saying. And then all of a sudden he
but
gets
he
to the
hasn't
pros,
dominated
and
that
he didn't
in
forget
the
how to play
pros at all.
basketball, Gemini. This guy didn't forget how to play basketball. And not only that, he's not even a foundational black American. The dude is bohemian, right? I mean,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
his attitude and his approach to something like basketball is different. It's more on the Tim Duncan type level. You follow what I'm saying? With his attitude. But if you push him away and make him seem like he's irrelevant because you like the way Booker cooked,
well,
then he probably like, you know what? Let Booker
well,
block the shots.
okay, but hold up. I can't give him the Tim Duncan attitude mainly because Tim Duncan was passive and he was
To a certain
underhanded,
degree, Tim Duncan was passing to a certain degree, but you don't
right?
see
But
those documentaries how Tim Duncan is at practice and behind the scenes.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm speaking of amongst the game that we can see on TV, amongst the game that we can see on TV, and even at Lake Forest, Tim was quiet. He was that silent one statement killer. Like Tim actually remind me of my Paul. Like
We all know that Tim
he
Duncan was the enforcer for Greg Popovich.
right,
And if you're going
but
to be
Tim
an
would say that
enforcer,
one sentence.
Him and Malik Rose was enforcers for Greg Popovich.
Right, but Tim will only say that one sentence and shut up and walk off. Tim would say that those ones liners and then walk off. Like
Because his game demonstrated, right? His game demonstrated. He didn't need to do much talking. But okay, let's get away from Tim Duncan. The thing of DeAndre Ayton with Scoot Henderson,
hmm
I think that could be a dynamic tag team, inside outside punch. And I think Scoot Henderson, being the novice that he is coming into the NBA, he's gonna kind of share the stage with DeAndre Ayton. He's going to share the stage with Anthony Simons. He's going to share the stage with Grant. Don't forget, Grant is still there, and Grant is also
Power
a quiet
forward.
soldier. No, no,
Yeah.
no. We talking about like attitude, not position.
Oh,
He's
okay.
also
Okay.
a quiet soldier. He believes in performing. You follow what I'm saying? These people
Right.
pay me $1 to perform, and I'm going to give them 100 cents, not 100%, but 100 cents on the dollar based on my performance. And that's the type of dude Grant is. That's why they signed him quickly. Soon as he was eligible, they gave him that 160, right?
Yeah. A little overpaid, but yeah, I
Well,
feel
I
that's
don't
why they
know
did it.
because you're not just you're paying for locker room presence, you're paying for off court presence, you're paying for leadership on and off the court, which he has exemplified. I believe GM Joe, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I believe GM Joe knew what the hell he was doing, and he couldn't wait to get Damian Lillard out of there. Damian Lillard threatened him, and GM Joe called his bluff. And now Damian Lillard was stuck in the corner and was like, "Damn, what should I do? Should I
Now,
really go forward with this?" And
now,
and,
now,
and
now that's the part I do agree with you on. I think there was a conversation. The GM called this bluff, and then the GM went with his move. So that sentiment, I definitely agree with you on.
and Chauncey Billups was the fulcrum behind it. Chauncey Billups like, "Hey man, I'm with it. I understand I'm a former player, and players, stick with players. But guess what? I'm a part of the administration now. So I'm not in the players union anymore. Now I'm in the coaches union. So it's a whole new ball game, and I'm taking a whole new approach with my life. And if Damian can't see the change that's on the horizon that could be beneficial for him and Rip City at the motor, then let Damian go ahead out to pasture. Because Damian don't have a championship, but guess what? Chauncey do. So he can use that championship as leverage to say, I know what it takes to win. He doesn't because he hasn't won. And the GM Joe said, you know what, Chauncey, that makes a whole lot of sense. And you were tough as nails. And now, since you are supporting our pick with Scoot Henderson, who we've seen so far is basically a replica of Battleship Steel, Battleship Metal. And you know how tough that is. They can go hand in hand. Coach, strong mindset, and Scoot Henderson, the newbie, strong mindset. And that's all a coach really wishes for, to have a point guard who can be an extension of him on the floor with a strong mindset and willing to push buttons to get the W night in and night out. And that's why I'm saying that Portland can be champion sometime in the near future. Because the NBA is getting old, Gemini, Purple Baby, Spike. The NBA is getting old again. Just like it got old when Mike came into the league.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, and that's why I'm even on my co-Lakers fan about regurgitating on veteran names. I'm like, man, like I think some of this needs to stop. I do agree with you on that sentiment. I don't disagree with you. I I I think Scoop is going to be a good player. I have never spoke against that young man saying that he's not going to be a good player. Now, when you speak on a ring, it's a lot of dimensions to a team that is needed, not just amongst the players, amongst the coach, amongst the GM of the organization that is supposed to be going out and actually recruit other players to come to your organization. But we do understand that Portland is not what, a free agent destination normally. So yes, not get delusional or more delusional, thinking all of a sudden they are a free agent destination because of the GM or because of this one, of only because of that one. It is bigger than what I guess people have shown, and to automatically put that type of pressure on Scoop of a ring, that is a lot of pressure on any player. Like even when it came, um, I, I I'll only speak on it because I stay here, even though I'm not a fan of the team. When it comes to the Pelicans and Zion coming here, they was like, "Oh, yeah, we're going this, we're gonna do this." I'm like, man, don't put all that pressure on that young man. What happened? Pressure bust pipes. Now we got 50 million things going on off of the court that 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 has nothing to do with basketball, but still it has something to do with his mindset and his gameplay on the basketball court. So, like, to put that type of pressure on this young man is the point that I'm actually alluding to, with everybody looking past the GM even lying the Dame for all these years and trying to make it seem like the GM been straight up all this time. He has not been straight up because he's not a free agent destination. But I mean, I don't have a problem with anybody that's delusional upon the segment of it. I mean, if that's the way they feel, that's the way they feel. I agree to disagree, and I push on. But if you just gonna make it sound like the GM been doing his job this whole time, like above average type situation, that's the part where I have pushback because how many years Jeremy Grant been in Portland? After CJ left, how many good players was at Portland? See, people can answer these questions, but then do not want to point out who really job is it to recruit these players. It falls on the GM and the front office. The players can aid amongst that, but it's really on the GM and the front office. So if we're going to look past the front office, you might as well say that, like like it galls me even when people say it's positionless basketball. Then stop putting positions up there. Then just put who the starting five is and let them play. Just put who the substitution is and let them play. Like, basketball is basketball. Stop trying to dilute it or make it more than what it actually is. Basketball is basketball. And I guess the main reason why I'm speaking as a point guard that have been a floor general, that have helped rally a team, that been in the locker room, just like you have, Dex. But is like, even once we get to the college realm, it's on the AD, it's on the coach. But that's considered the front office. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, maybe I'm wrong. But Thunder, off of what they're saying, they're basically saying that I'm wrong with the statement that I'm saying. It is on um team chemistry, trades, health, coaching. But they're taking the responsibility away from the front office, and that's where I really have pushback. Thunder, like, I really am saying, like, they, they they're speaking like there's not levels to this shit, and it really is levels. Scoop is going to be a good player. I do not see him, honestly. If I take away the triple doubles, I do not see him playing worse than Westbrook. I do not see him having a lesser career than Westbrook, other than the triple doubles. So I do see him being a good player amongst his whole career, provided he doesn't pop a shoelace. If he understand what I'm saying, but it as far as the front office need to be really recruiting, the coaches need to be recruiting. How is this honestly, just like Purple Baby pointed out, how is this really going to work out with Aiden? Because we done seen Aiden go off for how many years? How many seasons we didn't really watch Aiden clown because he haven't got touches? We didn't see Chauncey Billups even throw in flight and Nico brought this up earlier, that he threw Melo under the bus. So I I just see Aiden being used as a scapegoat amongst this whole debacle. A flight, Nico trying to come back on the panel. Wait, did everybody leave me on the panel by myself again? And Kafani, yes, I totally agree with you. There are levels to this shit. I'm sorry, I didn't see your statement earlier.
No, you're not alone.
Okay, but
But Nico has to scroll up because I don't have the link, Nico. Flight never even sent me the link. So you have to scroll up.
yeah, but literally like that, like that's what I'm saying. When I point out an organization, I point out the flaws within the organization. Hell, I'm a LBJ fan, but hell, I still point out when that man shoot us out of games or try to put more on his back than he should be putting on his back. Like I point all that out. I don't just be, oh man, what this, that, and the third. I point out everything. And yes, even though it is my opinion, show me within my opinion where I'm wrong. That's what I literally ask. Show me where you literally can say, "Oh, he's wrong for feeling that way," or that didn't happen that way. Chauncey Billups did skull drag Mello with the statements amongst his interviews. Now this man is a coach. Am I supposed to think that this man then changed his whole personality? Am I really supposed to
Probably
be
not.
thinking that? Not?
Oh, I didn't even know that, Nico. You just told me something I didn't know. Okay, let me do that then. You can continue. Let me give
Yeah,
Nico this.
All right, I see I'm in.
Okay. Okay, you here now, Nico. Yeah, so
Yeah, what's
with
good?
all of the kerfuffle surrounding this
Hello?
gigantic trade, so what do you think, Nico, about this?
I think that it's made Milwaukee Bucks a more formidable foe. I think that what they always lacked was that generational talent that can shoot the basketball. I think everybody else was just kind of good at everything, but not great, except for Giannis. He was great at being able to drive the basketball, being a facilitator when he needs to, and of course on the defensive side, they all had the defense, but it just was nobody to knock down shots when they needed it. And I think Damian Lillard provides that I'll call him an any moment 30 ball, and that shit, man, it's gonna be them and the Nuggets. That's how I see that right now. I love to see some Damian Lillard, Jamal Murray in the finals.
I think they're gonna have a hard fight against Boston, though. I really do,
Go on, explain that for me.
because Boston, even with the rotational leadership of Brown and Tatum, I think with them adding Porzingis, with them keeping the point guard from Indiana that they got, I think that's going to be their starting point. White is going to back him up, and I think the rotational. Oh, also they got Q from the Kings too as a backup center. So I think they really built more on depth, and they have more pieces that they needed. As far as when it comes to the Bucks, yes, they did get their floor general, but just like in a shooter, but just like Dame shoot you in games, Dame also shoot you out games. But I think it's better for Dame because he's gonna have. I think it's gonna be better rebounding around Dame. So I kind of think it's gonna balance off. I do not see
Giannis
them
is going
being
to lead
better.
the league in rebounds
Well, I'm
because he's going. I think Giannis is going to take a step back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think he's not going to try to be the choo choo train. Um, he's going to be more of the caboose, and he's going to let Dame do his thing because Giannis is a very gratiated type individual. You can tell,
I
well mannered.
and that I will give you. I just think for the rebounding that Dame needed, I think he got that with the Bucks. He also would have had that in Miami, but I honestly think at this point here that Boston, as bad as I hate to say it, I think Boston actually got better.
We don't even care about Boston.
No,
How,
no, no. He asked me how do I feel about them too. So I'm literally like given that I think Boston got better. So I honestly think Boston is going to go further than the Bucks. But I do think the Bucks got better. I now have them at 2 in the East. With this trade, I honestly have them at 2. I have like Miami between 4 and 5, but is like overall, did they get better? Yes, I have them at 2. I don't have them over Boston at this point, even when I do not agree with the unicorn health wise. I think the backup they picked up with Q out the G League that was released by the Kings. The young man can score. He's like 7'1" and something, damn near 7'2". His footwork is there like a baby Elijah one. Like I'm really mad at my Lakers for not picking him up. But the Kings did bring him back when the Lakers was gonna bring him in for a workout, but he wound up going to the Kings. So I'm actually mad that he left the West and went to the East. So I think Boston have the backups that they need to give Tatum that rest that he need, because when it comes to the playoff, he be tired. For some reason, he
Well,
be tired.
well, it's just you gonna have to work that shit out, bro. I mean,
No, I agree, but we all can attest by looking at these games. Tatum be tired in the playoff, boy. He be tired.
I think he do a little too much
I mean,
for
what
my
do you expect
taste.
from a light skin? I mean, come on, man.
No, no, I'm saying he be tired. I'm not.
25 years old, 25 years old, you say tired, bro? I can't buy that, bro, because I don't know, bro. Like, shit,
I mean,
I'm
even
not
when
get,
he went against the Warriors,
I'm not
was
getting.
he or was he not tired?
I,
I don't
well,
think he was tired. I
I don't
think they
know.
took away his easy buckets. That's where he wins. He's usually a lot more skilled than who's defending him. Easy mid range, uncontested three. Well, his three is very hard to contest because if you don't block it, he's probably gonna make it.
Yeah, but
Uh,
but he be tired. You can see like that old R&B song is written all over his face.
Oh, hey, man, I'm be
well, yeah,
honest
he
with
the
you,
number
bro.
one option out there.
Yeah, most of it ain't gonna be the same because they don't
But
stay. They don't stay. They number. They don't stay dual. And Marcus Smart. I mean, that still got. It's gonna be interesting to see what they gonna do without them out there. You know what I'm saying?
but that's why I disagree with giving Brown the total amount that they gave him. Do I think that he deserved to get the bag? Yes, but that total amount, but they be switching leadership roles like during the regular season. So, as much as I want to complain,
Brown
I just
qualified
got
for
it.
it. That's
I
why they
know,
gave it to him.
I know, I got to give him a standing ovation regardless of the fact that it matter, because Boston is really not known for really paying people what their actually value is. So I mean I gotta give him a standing O for getting it out of Boston.
Uh, so what y'all think? Nobody see this coming. Damian Lillard going
No, Gemini did.
to the
Don't say
Bucks.
nobody. You know,
I
Gemini called this last night on the stream, and
Yes.
then we started talking about the Milwaukee invitation because really, Flight had it as Toronto was a front runner, and then
Yes.
I didn't hear
Milwaukee
too much noise
backdoored
about
them.
Toronto though. I mean, Flight must have heard that, but I didn't hear too much noise about Toronto. I
Yeah,
heard
but
others say.
Gemini
No,
introduced the Milwaukee Bucks presence and the
yes I
interest
did.
of Damian Lillard.
It could have
I
been
do remember
between. It could have been between Miami and the Bucks, but it's about who's gonna pull the trigger first. But it did the Bucks pull the trigger, and Damian Lillard, there you go.
that. And
Now,
listen, Kwafani, before you continue, me and Gemini, well, Gemini and I, let me be correct. Let me be correct. Gemini and I had disagreed upon the trinkets that Portland will receive in this Damian Lillard trade. And Gemini was 100% right. He said Drew Holiday will be the epicenter of the outgoing for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I was like, well, what about Middleton? And then Gemini said, well, Middleton and Giannis have such a tight relationship. You
Yep.
know, he helped Giannis get with Kyle Korver and work on his shot and things of that nature. And Giannis is forever thankful. And I said, well, damn. I mean, how loyal should Giannis be for him forever? Remember that, Gemini?
Yep. Yep.
And you was 100% right. Drew Holiday is gone. Middleton is still there. And Giannis is delighted. So big ups to Gemini. I got to give him his props on that because
Appreciate it.
he walked this down all the way to the hilt. And it went basically just like he said. Yurkic was out and Jrue Holiday was out. And listen, big ups to you for that one, Gemini.
Appreciate it.
so Drew Holiday is a
Okay,
Portland
cool,
now.
buddy.
Is there where he is now?
Yeah,
Drew
for now.
Holiday, he's at Portland, but Portland has already alluded to they're looking for a trade destination for him. They have already alluded to that. And
So
Purple Baby brought up earlier on the stream that Jrue Holiday 9 times out of 10 is not going to sign an extension because he's the caretaker of his better half. So 9 times out of 10, he's going to honor this contract out through it. But if they cannot get a trade destination for him, he can wind up getting a payout and wind up leaving now.
Get a buyout.
So you say you're gonna be a Laker?
No,
No,
he
he ain't
won't
gonna be
be.
no Laker.
He won't be a Laker. And Flight tried to allude to that earlier. He will not be a Laker. We have 3-point guards, technically 4-point guards. But no, I'm sorry, technically 5-point guards on one team. No, we have D'Lo, we have Vincent, we have Hood, we have Reeves, and we have LBJ. We don't need no more point guards. We need a center. And I hope we get that at the buyout market. We need
Now,
a
just
center.
Somebody who
because
can.
Damian Lillard is at the Bucks, it doesn't mean that you can pencil him in the championship. This is why they play the game. We've seen this before with Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. Look where that ended up. Neither one of those stars and superstars and perennial all-stars and 2 MVPs are not even on the team anymore.
Man, that was a
They have
2K
dispersed.
experiment, Dex.
But listen,
Yeah,
but what we're saying, they have dispersed, and each of them is in separate locations. And neither one
but
of them
they're
don't
not
look
really
like they're
loyal
going to win
though.
a championship anytime soon.
Well,
Wait.
okay.
Loyal. Okay, what do you mean loyal?
And loyal to the
Kevin
game,
Durant
loyal
stayed.
to
How
the
long did he
team.
stay in OKC?
7 years.
That well, that's when KD was a boy.
Like
Now he's a
LeBron James
third
stayed
eye.
7 years. Both of them stayed with their team 7 years. But when both these guys decided to jump
And
ship, now that's when it became a problem.
No,
and
he wasn't. No, he wasn't talking
wait.
about
We talk
LeBron
about loyalty now.
James.
So let's go down. Let's go down this rabbit hole. And James Harden got traded, right? He got traded from the team that drafted him because
Yes.
they didn't want to pay him. They didn't see the need to pay him because they already had a wealth of talent. So they let him go. So Kyrie Irving, right? Kyrie
Yes.
Irving was with Cleveland. He wanted a bigger role. He can't have a bigger role. LeBron is the league. And what LeBron say, go. So Kyrie Irving said, okay, you can have this. Even though I was the number one drafted, the most recent number one drafted that stayed, not traded away, and I can't have no say. I can't expand my role.
He
Okay,
won't let him play
cool.
point guard. He can't. I can't
Kyrie
get mad
didn't care
at.
about playing point guard. He didn't care because he was getting the rock. He was getting his numbers. See, that part he didn't care.
Right.
But he wanted a bigger leadership role. You know, he wanted some say so. He said this himself. Even though he later apologized how he left, you know, on bad terms and things of that nature. But he said that, you know, LeBron can suggest who he can bring in. How come I can't suggest to bring in? I'm a number one overall pick also. You understand what I'm saying? But Kyrie,
LeBron
you
played
was
that
the number
game
one
too.
overall pick. Yeah, you were number one overall pick. But damn, you kept Cleveland in the lottery. What kind of say you need? You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that didn't fit well with Kyrie. So he said, okay, cool, I'm out. And then he go over to Boston. And then when he gets to Boston, he tried to emulate LeBron leadership amongst that young core. And they looking at this guy who's so mercurial, like, dude, today the earth is round and tomorrow is flat, and you really want us to listen to you consistently? No. It's not happening.
Well,
You follow what I'm
well,
saying? So, okay.
we're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna pull back up tomorrow, man. Shout out Dak, shout out Nico, shout out everybody that pulled up, man. We're gonna do this again tomorrow, man. It's Flight Sports TV.
Oh
Flight
yeah.
Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.